everything they wanna do. Hell yeah, I'm ready for it. Sexy girl, just throw that back. Hell yeah, she ready for it. They thought they wanna start. Now my shit, they checking for it. And yo girl, she beat me to it. I think they're ready for it. All I heard was that boy pop. All I heard was that.
Catch The Herd weekdays noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific on FS1.
The Herd.
Catch The Herd on FS1.
Carmen and Papinga, what does it mean when Geico says just 15 minutes can save you 15% or more car insurance? Means you probably should have gone to Geico.com 15 minutes ago. We could be talking opening day and WNBA. We shied away from that. We could be talking about
not going there.
J.B. Holmes. Let's see if he's still leading that golf tournament with the players.
Whoever that is.
J.B. Holmes, yes, he finished his round at 9 under. Actually, he's tied with the immortal Kyle Stanley, who's finishing off his round with Louis Oosthuizen.
Way to be.
The former British Open champion.
Oh, I thought he was going to be German.
By the way, I was excited going into the day about
VJ, right?
VJ Singh.
Did you drop off a little bit?
Yeah, he shot 79.
Ooh. Tony Romo could have beat him.
Well, yeah, so being 54 years old and trying to keep up with the young guys.
Well, that's the problem, is that probably your endurance that starts to weigh on you right out the gates. You can't maintain the same.
So VJ fell off. Anyway, so but we shied away from that. Obviously, we were talking plenty of NBA today with the upcoming Western Conference Finals. Excellent series coming up with Golden State and San Antonio, although the odds makers aren't seeing much there because at least in game one they got the Warriors are 10.5-point favorite.
It's such a drastic change in style that I'm with them, man. It's going to take one game for the Spurs to adjust to the speed of Golden State and to the relentlessness, and then after that I think it'll become a series.
So what we like to talk about are NFL stories.
Yeah.
Because nobody else around here does, apparently. And the last time I checked, about half of everybody listening right now could care less about the NBA, Major League Baseball, or anything else. They only want to hear the latest in NFL news. And when you get to these rookie camps that all the teams are holding right now, and they're getting their first look at these guys. You know, I mean, obviously they've scouted them, they've watched the film, they've interviewed these guys, everything else.
Yeah.
But once they get there, things can change real quickly, good or bad.
Oh, they do.
I mean, a lot of times, for instance, you got all these, it's not just those that have been drafted, you get these free agent rookies.
Oh, yeah.
And many times I've seen this, working for the Raiders, covering the Chargers for many, many years through their camps. A guy walks in as a free agent rookie, and almost instantly a position coach says, we got something.
Oh, yeah.
Now, how does that happen as quickly? And when I say it, and more often than not, it proves true. They'll make the team, and suddenly they got something. I mean, you know, the free agent rookies are an afterthought, but they shouldn't be.
Well, they're not. I know good teams, they're not afterthoughts.
Right.
Good teams, like I know for a fact with the Packers and the Patriots, I would say the Seahawks are in the same boat as the Seahawks, I believe, year in and year out, end up retaining more undrafted free agents.
So what is the
else.
first thing that would stand out with a free agent rookie where coaches would say we got something?
Let me go into the mindset of these teams first. This is the thing that is not common knowledge. What happens is, in the world of Bill Belichick, when he is looking at college talent, saying, who do we need?
Right.
He looks at his guys and he's like, that guy, I mean, he's looking at guys like Julian Edelman, who was an undrafted free agent.
Right.
Like, this guy's a Patriot.
Now, he was a quarterback.
But listen to me.
Yeah.
He looks at them, whether he's an undrafted free agent or a first rounder, he looks at them like this, hey, these guys can help us win now. Now, you may ask, well, why doesn't he draft Julian Edelman? Why doesn't he try to go? It's all market-based. The only so the point is, the only reason why they end up taking a guy first round instead of letting him go undrafted.
It's the market demand for the player.
Is the market demand. But in terms of how the team values them, there's no difference.
It makes a lot of sense, because when you think about it, you're right. I mean, why are certain players drafted where they are? Well, again, as you say, there's a market value. That's the biggest thing to gauge. That's why we go back to Cincinnati drafting Joe Mixon in the second round. Why?
Or
if there were only three
of
other
the 49ers going after Foster.
Exactly.
Like, they thought we were going to take him.
The Bears trading him for Trubisky.
But remember, they thought, we'll take him third overall, maybe.
But
are you kidding me?
The only reason the Bears are moving up from 3 to 2 is they're absolutely 100% convinced the 49ers are going to take Trubisky.
No.
Otherwise, you would just sit at 3 and take him.
No, they thought that they were going to also maybe trade off that pick to another team.
Oh, that somebody was going to move. Okay, that somebody else was sold on.
Yeah, there's two things.
Okay, you're right.
But the point I'm trying to make here about undrafted free agents is it's not a surprise for those teams because they know who they got and they love these guys. This is like Ted, this is what he prides himself on because he spent so much time personally going to all these pro days, personally breaking down film. They love finding diamonds in the rough like those guys. Same with the Patriots. And they do every year.
Did you look down when he has a 4th round pick of the Packers and then got all those free agent rookies? Did you look at them as less? I mean, you figure I'm a 4th round pick, so I'm going to get preferential.
You know that they have. You know that there's more invested in you.
Right, money.
They've given you more money. Yeah, they've and a lot of times if you're a high draft pick, top 4 rounds is a high draft pick in their eyes. Right. The money. They give you a spot already in the main locker room if you're 5th rounder or less. Sometimes it depends on if there's space. And at least at Green Bay, they put you what we call the Green Mile, which was this other locker room that was where it's like practice squad guys or guys low on the totem pole. Now, if you can go, which happened every year, from the Green Mile to the main, that's the main locker room.
Who was the best free agent rookie your rookie class?
That's a good question. Well, my
Did you have any standouts on that rookie class?
I don't think we had many in mind that really jumps out at me. But in my time there, the best undrafted free agent was Coleman Jenkins.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's unbelievable as you look at his career that he was undrafted. I think he's played already 15 years. He played even last year, but he's a phenomenal talent. But that's the thing is so when you come into these camps, and I remember Ted, he sat us down in our first meeting, all the rookies, and he says, I don't care where you were drafted. He's like, I believe in each one of you, and I expect each one of you to help us win now. And I was like, that's cool. Because if you're this undrafted guy, you do get treated like a second-hand citizen.
Right.
And
it can light a fire on you, and of course you can have a certain level of
But you're treated that way amongst the players. Because what you got to understand, too, is when I was with the Packers, Mike Sherman was the head coach beforehand. And he was different. His free agents, undrafted free agents, were throwaways. Like, let's sign this guy. He didn't care much about it because he didn't do a lot of the scouting. He was more concerned with coaching. So there was a culture embedded in Green Bay when I arrived where if you're undrafted, you're a throwaway. We don't care about you. And it wasn't in Ted's mind. He's like, no. Don't think that. So from the player's perspective, you would think that. And then all of a sudden, here you are, one of these established starters getting a call from the front office. We're going to replace you with an undrafted free agent. It was awesome. It's like, this is awesome. It's like, this is literally, it's about are you productive? It's not about, okay, you've been a starter this last year. You're entitled to this. No. Every year is a reset button. Every day, I love this because you earned everything.
What always happens though. You get that overachieving free agent, right? And there's that frustration from position coaches because they're closest to the situation. They're like, if I could put that kid's motor in that guy's body, I'd have an unbelievable. I got this guy that's Superman over here, and
no motivation,
no motivation, no motor. And I got a guy who can't run the floor, but he is running 100 miles an hour constantly. Can I take that motor and put it in that engine?
And when you ask the question, have you seen guys that immediately show up for in order to be great? One guy just played him. Yeah. I wouldn't watch their rookie because I was curious. He was a guy that AJ Hawk and I were sitting in the hotel room, and we were playing a defense that was a little stagnant. We could say the scheme was stagnant. And we were watching Ohio State play USC. And all of a sudden, it's number 47 with long hair for USC was just tearing it up.
Walk on it, USC.
And I looked at AJ and I go, dude, we need somehow we need a guy like that. So when we drafted him, I was pumped, even though he was literally in line to take my place. That's when you know you're on a championship team. When you got guys like me wanting guys that are going to eventually take your place. That's when you know you're in a position with championships, which, lo and behold, ironically, we did. Fast forward to when he went to his first rookie, I went and watched it just to see where I was like, I got to see if my tuition was right. Yeah. I mean, he was flying all over the field like I've never seen anybody fly all over the field. Then when we got our pads on for the first time, and I'm jumping ahead a little bit still, he was a polished technician. I mean, you could tell that his dad had worked with him. I was like, this guy's going to be phenomenal. I mean, because just that his starting point was so high and I knew he'd work hard to push, but it's like, if he increases this much based off of where he started, he's going to be great. And he ended up being great. So, by
the way, you just mentioned something a lot of people overlook. When he got him in pads.
That's another one.
That's another, right? I mean, I have seen guys out of pads, and all of a sudden they're in pads, and it's like, is that the same guy? Good or bad, right?
That is so
we're in the Geico Fox Sports Radio studios, rolling on, but first, here's what's trending.
All kinds of games in Major League Baseball have gone final, but we're talking about a few that are in progress right now. Padres lead the White Sox 1-0. That game's in Chicago. Mets chilling in Milwaukee 1-0 for the Brewers. Braves and Marlins are scoreless, bottom of 1 in Miami. Orioles and Royals are also scoreless, bottom of 1 in KC. Earlier today, Blue Jays taking on the Seattle Mariners.
There goes the runner, Maley, and he gets hung up, and Goins takes off for the plate, and it's Travis, and he scores! Devin Travis just stole home! And the Blue Jays have a 7-2 lead.
And that was the final score as well on the Blue Jays Radio Network. Chris Sale, 12 Ks in a victory. Red Sox double up the Rays, 6-3. Twins, 4-1 winners in Cleveland. It was the Giants 3, Cincinnati Reds just 1. I'm David Gascon.
This is Steve Hartman and Brady Papinga.
You woke up the sleeping dog. He's awake. He's barking.
Once again from the Geico Studios of Fox Sports Radio.
Hartman and Papinga doing our thing here on a beautiful Saturday. Coming live from the Geico Fox Sports Radio studios. Easy to save, 15% more on car insurance at Geico. Go to geico.com or call 800-947-AUTO. The only hard part figuring out which way is easier. Prediction from you. Wizards, Celtics, Game 7 in Boston. What do you think?
Celtics. What do you think? And the reason why I think it's the Celtics is because they play far better at home. Their role players play far better at home. And for some reason, the Wizards' role players, their game doesn't travel.
I'm looking at, obviously, if Boston wins, they have home court advantage against Cleveland. Remember, Boston's the number 1 seed.
Which I don't know if it means much.
I don't think it means anything. I think, honestly, Cleveland would rather play the Celtics than the Wizards.
Yeah, I do too.
So
the matchup is.
I think the Wizards would give at least Cleveland a little more to think about than the Celtics would in that series. That's our NBA talk. Let's get back to the National Football League. We're talking, we got rookie camps all over the place, and there's certainly a lot of interesting rookies out there, but, you know, we were just talking about the process of evaluation when you actually, you know, again, you've gone through combines and interviews and workouts and film in college and everything else, but nothing is the same as actually getting these guys day in and day out. Because not only are you learning, you know, watching them on the field, you're getting to know them more as an individual, you know, how motivated are they, how they react with others on the team, how their teammates react to them.
Yep.
And then you mentioned the fact that, you know, the first time you're out there, you're just running around, you know, no pads and everything else. And then all of a sudden you put the gear on. Now, we know, there are people, it's a Jekyll and Hyde thing.
Oh, yeah.
There are guys, you know, they're unassuming, they're just seemingly nice guys and everything else, and then you put the pads on, and they are just a completely different person.
Yeah, and there was the opposite. I remember there was a fullback we had as an undrafted free agent 06 with the Green Bay Packers, actually 07. And so we were, on our first OTAs, we're just shorts and a t-shirt, and he's like a bulldog. You know, he's hitting guys in the back. He's running into you like he's got pads on. I think, okay, we'll get the pads on with this guy. It's going to be some nice collisions.
Yeah.
The first day of pads, they do this, and it was a simple, we knew all, you know, it's called a lead weak. Right. Basically, all it means is to the weak side of the formation, where it's the opposite side of the tight end, there's a fullback. He's going to run up between the tackle and the guard, and that
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the St. Charles Family Arena. For the protection of the players and fans, and in the spirit of good sportsmanship, the River City Raiders request that you refrain from throwing any object at participants or onto the playing field. Such behavior can cause serious injury, and violators will be ejected from the arena and subject to arrest. Any spectator going onto the field or interrupting play in any manner will be ejected and subject to arrest. We also remind you that you are attending this game at your own risk. Please be alert and aware of thrown, kicked footballs flying into the stands and players entering the stands as well. All balls, due to fan safety, must be returned to the field of play immediately. The Raiders ask that parents, please do not let your children stand along the boards, and they must be seated. We thank you for your cooperation. Indoor Raiders Nation, make sure you tune in to 590 The Fan. Also, make sure to take 590 The Fan on the go and download their mobile app, 590 The Fan, the voice of your River City Raiders. Lamborghini Gold Coast Athletic Center, located in historic St. Charles, is the official training center for your River City Raiders. Championship Catering is the exclusive pregame caterer of your River City Raiders. For your next catering needs, call and make sure to make contact with Chef Larry G. at Championship Catering. Ferguson Roofing is the official roofing company of your River City Raiders. Please visit them online at fergusonroofing.com. Raiders fans, if your Raiders score 50 or more points in tonight's game, make sure to visit participating Stefanina's Pizzeria locations next Monday through Friday and mention your Raiders for $5 off any large pizza. Raiders fans, if you can't make it to a game but want to hear the game, listen to the voice of the Raiders, Todd Blackstock and Don Johnson and Dave Solomon at InsideSTL.com or on 590 The Fan. Ladies and gentlemen, your River City Raiders organization would like to welcome everyone to the Family Arena. Tonight, your River City Raiders face off against the Myrtle Beach Sharks. Fans, please be aware again of balls and players entering the stands, and children must be seated and not hanging over the field due to fan safety. Kickoff is just minutes away. Let me hear you, Indoor Raiders. Let's make some noise. Raiders fans, we direct your attention to the players' entrance. We would like to welcome your 2017 River City Raiders dance team, led by Alba Brady.
competitive prices, and all-around better buying experience. You can even work direct
Okay, Matt, are you there?
certified dealer to establish a
gotcha.
fair
I think I've duct taped this power source, but I hate to say it, if you need to use the bathroom, go now, because there's no telling if the slightest bump or something will knock us off.
Okay,
So
I'm
when
good.
you're ready to buy
I'm
a
about to get this going, though, with the chief interview.
With the coach? It's only one coach. The visiting coach refuses to talk, so it's just the Raiders.
Okay, that's getting ready to come back right now.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome
You're listening to American Indoor Football on 590 The Fan, home of your River City Raiders. Now back to the family arena with Todd Blackstock and Dave Solomon.
And welcome back to the Family Arena. David Solomon with you alongside Don Johnson as we continue on the River City Raiders pregame show. The Raiders hosting the Myrtle Beach Sharks tonight. Great seats still available, and best of all the tickets are free. So if you're in the St. Charles area, come on out to the Family Arena. You guys have been great fans all season long, and now it's one last chance in the regular season to support your
I left a message with Kevin Russell, but
the arena
this power source for this access unit is barely hanging on.
Big win last week. What you need to do to build on the momentum?
We're just going to keep I literally have it duct taped right now.
Lights out the defense, their assignments.
I'm not, now that I got it going. But I want to let you know I left Kevin a voicemail. I can email you later. I got to talk to you at some point anyway, but right now I got to get going.
Did any of that catch you off guard, and what do you think was key to this breakout?
I think what was key, Mike has been studying this game and practicing for the last year and a half at this level. The fact that he didn't have a lot of pressure allowed him to actually read the defense and make good choices on his delivery.
Hey, David.
To the different players that he delivered the ball to.
I was talking with a lot of fans after the game, and perhaps the most common
Indoor Raider Nation, please welcome to the field, Postal Pete from Going Postal, Lake St. Louis.
Today, there are over 47 million Ford vehicles on the road, rolling on over 188 million tires. That's a lot of rubber to trust to anyone other than the hard-working specialist at Ford Service. No one knows your Ford better than Ford and Ford Service.
Get a $140 rebate by mail on 4 select tires when you use the Ford Service credit card at the Big Tire event. Subject to credit approval, rebate by prepaid debit card. Other tire manufacturer rebate or offer cannot be combined with Ford Service credit card rebate or offer. See your participating Ford dealer for details through 6/30/17.
Hey.
Oscar Mayer's making big changes, and hot dogs will never be the same again. We went back to the drawing board and the cutting board until we had a line of the world's best hot dogs. We got rid of the artificial preservatives in all of our meat.
All right, well, we're here if we need to go.
A byproduct.
Let me make sure I said the wrong thing, because, you know.
Every single one of you. And right now, the Wienermobile is driving across America to put a hot dog in every
Indoor Raider Nation.
Oscar
It is the moment you've been waiting for. Let's welcome your 2017 River City Raiders.
I've tried other products to keep my weight down, but nothing has worked.
Introducing number 1, Ryan Lowry.
232, 179.
Oh, okay, so it's a technical problem.
Come off.
All right.
Stomach area.
Number 2, Rodarius Whittier.
We'll be ready to go on.
32-inch weight, which I was in high school. I highly recommend the Andrew 400 to all my friends.
Guys, are you frustrated because no matter
Number 3, Dion Morris.
to lose stubborn belly fat, then discover why thousands of men each month rely on Andro 400 to lose belly fat, gain energy, and
Number 6, Keenan Miller.
Andro 400 is safe, effective, and inexpensive.
Number 7, Johnny King III.
Andro400.com or call 888-400-0433.
Hey, Matt, you're going to have to
Number 8,
text me about levels, because right now
Penn.
we're in the dark here, literally at Family Arena. They've got the lights down.
Here we go.
You're listening to
Number 10, Theo Alexander.
home of your River City Raiders. Now back to the family arena with Todd Blackstock
Number
and Dave
11,
Solomon.
DeAndre Jackson.
And welcome back to the St. Charles Family Arena. David Solomon alongside Don
Number 12,
Johnson. We're
Chris
just
Williams.
minutes away from River City Raiders football. Had to cut out of that conversation with Chief Moore a little early, but Chief Moore
Number
was
13,
very upbeat
Mike
on the
Tyndall.
team's outlook for this game. Team really coming together. He talked to me about just
Number
the
15,
chemistry.
Gary
Mike Tyndall
Johnson.
really capitalized on his apprenticeship, on his time on the bench,
Number
being able
18,
to study
DeJuan
and learn
Bolden.
the offense. Also the veteran core of wide receivers. He also mentioned
Number
the defense
35,
as well.
James
Having the
Neal.
secondary back together, especially Brian Lowry, Theo Alexander.
Number 52,
Both of whom have been
Kevin
perennial
Adams.
contenders for Paul Minio's player of the game, and for James Neal, the kicker as
Number
well.
55,
Neal's always
Anthony
had a couple of unos,
Jackson.
which is at 1 point awarded for when you kick a ball through the uprights. But Chief also said he did.
Number
He was
57,
a little bit in the dark because
Keenan
Myrtle
Mace.
Beach, just like they didn't give us an interview or much info, he didn't have info until he got the roster today.
Number
Don, you played the
70,
game.
Derek Sola.
What do you do when you don't have any information on your opponent?
Well, all you have to do is really play by your strengths.
72,
On
Lawrence
offense, you
Smith.
got your down linemen. They have to make sure that they're blocking the head. You got your back. You got to make sure that your game plan.
Number
that you're
90,
gonna carry
Big
out
Bernard
who's on the other side of the field.
wins.
So the Raiders are pretty acquainted with what they're comfortable doing. They're going to come in this game. The defense
Number
is going to
91,
be
Anthony
here to
Burley.
get the ball
Ladies and
back. That's all they want them to
gentlemen,
do.
your River
Stop
City
them to get the
Raiders.
ball back, and the Raiders
Coach
will make
Greg
the
Moore,
opportunities that will have
Lamine
them
Smith,
winning this
Justin
ball game
Coots,
before the
Dan
night is
Montgomery,
over.
and Johnny Johnson.
We're just a few minutes away. River City Raiders going with Mike Tyndall, as we mentioned earlier, quarterback. Only one roster change for the Raiders, and that's on the defensive line, as they brought back a familiar face from the days of the St. Louis attack, Anthony Burley, but otherwise a lot of continuity. And how big is that, Don, for the team?
Well, with the continuity, again, you got to realize you and your guys have been playing the ball all season long. So right now, this game is coming down to it. This is the last game before you go into postseason. So everybody knows what they've done. Everybody can get a feel for what another player will do, when to let up, when to have the conversation down on the field, so that the adjustments will be made. You don't always have to depend on the coach to make the adjustment. Defensive backs, they see some things, they talk to each other. If the quarterback sees something, he'll talk. You look at the offensive linemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the center of the
open the holes
field.
up for the people in
As
the
Brittany
backfield.
Lambert will sing.
All right, well,
God
we're getting
Bless
ready to start
America.
the national anthem and honoring America. You're listening to River City Raiders football. We'll be back in 2 minutes on 590 The Fan, KFNS Wood River, 105.7 HD2 FM, KPNT HD2 Collinsville, and InsideSTL.com, St. Louis.
Hiring is the most challenging part of my job. It's really hard. The searching, the sorting through resumes. Most people don't have the right experience.
We started using ZipRecruiter about 3 months ago. Right from the start, you could tell it was going to make hiring a lot easier.
Did I get the levels more rectified?
To 100+ job boards, all the top sites.
You can both come down a little bit more.
Yeah, it was kind of hard there adjusting them in the dark.
Thumbs down earlier. No emails and attachments. Printing up docs. Phone calls. None of that.
And I couldn't believe the number of great applicants we got. I had the person we needed within 1 week. I don't know how we hired before ZipRecruiter.
Whether you're looking to fill one position or 20, find the best candidates with ZipRecruiter, where your job is just one click away from 100+ job sites. ZipRecruiter, the fastest way to hire. And right now you can try ZipRecruiter free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio offer. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio offer. ZipRecruiter.com/radio offer.
Listen, this whole do-it-yourself thing is fine for some projects, but when it comes to window coverings, not so much.
Tell me about it. I get some do-it-yourself shades that are best described as uneven and twisted.
Yeah, I've seen them. That's why I'm going with budget blinds.
That's a style and service for every budget, people.
All right.
Yeah, and that is for real. Budget blinds has no...
Can you give us like another maybe 30 after that?
warranty. The best in the business.
No surprises pricing and a no questions asked warranty.
No brainer, right?
So Budget Blinds comes in, measures everything, orders for you, then they install it all.
It's a beautiful thing. And now you can get up to $500 off on Signature Series window covers.
Another no-brainer. Number, please.
855 Budget Blinds. Or go online to budgetblinds.com.
Call 855-BUDGET-BLINDS and get the experts to do it for you at a price that fits your budget. Call 855-BUDGET-BLINDS now.
Offer good on selected products at participating independently owned and operated franchises only. Some restrictions may apply. Ask for details.
Over 37 million Ford vehicles on the road, rolling on over 188 million tires. That's a lot of rubber to trust to anyone other than the hard-working specialist at Ford Service. No one knows your Ford better than Ford and Ford Service.
Get a $140 rebate by mail on 4 select tires when you use the Ford Service credit card at the Big Tire event. Subject to credit approval. Rebate by prepaid debit card. Other tire manufacturer rebate or offer cannot be combined with Ford Service credit card rebate or offer. See your participating Ford dealer for details through 6/30/17.
You're listening to American Indoor Football on 590 The Fan, home of your River City Raiders. Now back to the Family Arena with Todd Blackstock and Dave Solomon.
Ladies and gentlemen, Brittany Lambert.
And that was
Thank
Brittany
you.
Lambert. You caught the tail end of honoring America with the singing of our national anthem as we are ready for football. The River City Raiders and the Myrtle Beach Sharks. The Myrtle Beach Sharks dressed all patriotic. Freedom on the front of their uniforms. Red numbers, red letters on their white uniforms with the stars and stripes going along the sides, both of the upper tops and the pants as well. Mostly wearing black helmets, but there are a couple players wearing white helmets as well for the Myrtle Beach Sharks. River City Raiders wearing their home violet uniforms, some may call it purple, white numbers and letters on the tops, black pants and black helmets. So the teams are meeting up at midfield, the captains are shaking hands, and we are all set to have the coin toss.
Yeah, you're talking about midfield now. Midfield for indoor football is the 25-yard line. You go 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, and the touchdowns. So 25 is midfield. If you're used to being outside and watching them in midfield, it changes once you get into the arena. So the 25-yard line is midfield. They're meeting there now. We had to flip the coin, and we'll see what's going to take place. I'm sure that the Raiders have a lot of confidence. These guys have played together. There's been injuries. They've made those adjustments, and now they're here tonight at the end game, but the end game is a step into the post game.
It's deferred.
So the
River City, well received.
So the coin toss was won by Myrtle Beach. They elected to defer. The Raiders will start off with the football as they chose to receive. So Myrtle Beach will be kicking off from left to right across your radio dial, smartphone, tablet, computer monitor, however you choose to be listening to us here. David Solomon alongside Don Johnson. The Raiders looking to make this a doubleheader win day here in the city of St. Louis as the Cardinals were victorious earlier today at Busch Stadium over the Chicago Cubs 5-3. Carlos Martinez winning yet again, also had a couple hits as well. So Carlos Martinez helping himself. Had last check 5 RBI on the week as well. Back-to-back starts of solid pitching, solid offense as well as the Cardinals expanding their distance, getting back the game they lost last night against the Cubs.
Well, you know, Pham is back now, and he's been an impact player. I'm really happy that he's back on the team, and he's doing what he knows how to do best.
So the Myrtle Beach Sharks getting ready to kick off. It's Victor Leventritt from State University of New York Sullivan, 6 foot, 200 pounds, kicking off. And if you happen to be listening to us in Myrtle Beach, we apologize in your advance if some of your names may be a little off, some of your family members, friends, favorite players, but Coach Terry Foster declined a pregame interview and meeting with us, so we're just doing the best with what we have, folks.
I was looking on the roster, and number 24 is, his last name is Valentine. I don't think I'll forget that name.
All right, football fans.
Another name we
Let's make some noise!
He is standing in the back of his end zone, ready to receive for the Raiders, who will be going from right to left.
Well, I'm looking forward to the Raiders to get the early lead.
Leventritt kicks off high, end-over-end kick right down the middle, and it is through the uprights. So we have our first point of the game. It's a single for Victor Leventritt. So it is 1-0 Sharks before the Raiders even get to run a play.
Well, you know, the Raiders have to get on the field, feel comfortable that they know the plays, and just execute.
Raiders going from right to left as they will start with
Raiders
the ball on their own
football,
5-yard line. If it's after a single, then the play will start at the 5-yard line. But if you kick it out of bounds and not through the uprights, it'll be at the 20 for a touchback.
No, the interesting thing about the football is that you got the 3 down linemen, you got the quarterback, the running back, then you have 2 wideouts and a man in motion.
One receiver to the far side for the Raiders. Chris had the receiver on the near side. Man in motion in the slot was DeAndre Jackson. Instead, handoff, and it gets fumbled. Pile up in the end zone. Mike Tyndall tried to pounce on it. And it's a safety as Tyndall came up with the football. But unfortunately, it was recovered in the end zone for a safety, so it is now 3-0 Sharks.
Boy, the Sharks are hungry right off the bat.
2 points for the safety. Sharks 3, Raiders 0.
So we've seen an Uno, we've seen a safety. We have not seen any forward progress on offense so far as we have 14:41 to go in the first quarter. David Solomon, Don Johnson, River City Raiders football. As it looked like that Tyndall just never quite got the snap.
Well, that's a misfortune to start off that way, but again, that should rile up the Raiders to let them know one thing. These guys came from down south, and they've scored the first blow, and they can't allow that to happen. So let's see what happens once they get the possession of the ball and can make an impact on these guys by scoring the first TD of the game.
So count that as a fumble for Mike Tyndall. So the Raiders, well, they'll have to kick the ball away.
Well, you know, the guys just have to put that type of situation behind them. You know, I'm sure the coach was looking over there. Quarterback's kind of questioning what happened, and he and the center have to be coordinated.
Yes, Jared Harris, he's back deep in the Myrtle Beach end zone. As the Myrtle Beach Sharks are going with 2 receivers to try to kick it back.
Well, now we're going to see what the defense for the Raiders has, seeing that the visiting Sharks scored the first points, and now they're going to receive the ball. So the defense has got to come out and make their presence felt.
So James Neal tees it off for the Raiders at his own goal line. Raiders trailing 3-0, 14:41 to go here. Quarter number 1 from the St. Charles Family Arena. If you're coming on by, if you're in the area, still plenty of free tickets. Good crowd filing in here, but free tickets. So if you're in the area, don't worry, the tickets are free. You haven't missed much yet. Only 19 seconds in. 3-0 Raiders trailing, but as you may know, if you're familiar with the indoor game, there could be a lot of scoring in a hurry.
You're looking to action to your soul satisfaction.
That's the deal. On Sider, and it goes just out of the reach of Gary Johnson. It bounces into the Raiders bench at the 18-yard line. So Myrtle Beach will start off with great field position. We'll wait to see exactly where they spot it, but it is going to be deep inside Raider territory. And the officials look like they are spotting it indeed at the River City Raiders 18-yard line as the Myrtle Beach offense goes to work.
Well, I tell you, they don't want to give them a short field to work out, but that was a miscue. It seemed like they were going to play the bounce and have it go down the field. But when it went into the stands, then that limited the progress of the ball and gave the visiting Sharks ideal field conditions.
Marlon Horton is the Myrtle Beach quarterback. He's got 1 receiver on the far side, 2 receivers on the near side. Now the receiver on the far side motions over to the near side. Horton takes the snap. Quick little pitch out over on the near side. Gain of about 2 yards on the play as he pitched it out to Jared Harris.
Chris Williams on the stop.
Quick little bubble screen right there. On the assist. Keenan Mason on the tackle for the Raiders. Gain of about 2 on the play for Myrtle Beach. Yeah, we're being a little generous by calling it 2, but that's what it'll stand as. So it'll be 2nd down and 8 with 14:05 to go.
Yeah, they had the back out there. He was split out. It was a pitch out from the quarterback. He only picked up about 2 yards on that. Great reaction from the Raiders defensive line.
2nd down and 8.
All right, football fans, let your defense know you're there. Let's make some noise!
Operating out of the shotgun. All 3 receivers now on the far side. As there's some movement on the offensive line, he gets the ball, but almost arrived at the same time as Keenan Mace. So unless the Raiders player jumped a little too soon, it looks like it's going to be a false start on Myrtle Beach.
You know, you have to have some great athletes playing in that interior defensive line because you only have 3 down linemen, going against 3 offensive lines. So you have to have a guy in the center. He has to control it, and the 2 outside guards or defensive guards, you have to, defensive linemen, you have to make sure that they go straight down the field and turn everything inside and not let a sweep go wide.
So that was false start on Myrtle Beach, so that brings it 2nd down and 13 from the Raiders' 21-yard line. Daryl Gooden out wide to the far side. Lone receiver on the near side is Simon Phoenix. The man in motion, Jared Harrison in the slot. Quarterback backed up. Intercepted by the River City Raiders. Chris Williams.
Chris Williams on the interception.
And
back to the Raiders 24. Raiders 1st and 10
on their own 24-yard line as Chris Williams, it looks like, just jumped the route.
Well, not really. He really watched the quarterback, and he was kind of floating around the field. He saw where he had his eyes and his feet set to throw that ball, and he stepped right in and took it. And that's really what the Raiders need. The first interception of the game, and let's see what the offense has to offer now that they've had a break this early in the contest.
So the River City Raiders start out 1st and 10 on the 24. Mike Tyndall operating in the shotgun, maybe trying to hold on to the snap this time. Chris had the receiver on the near side, man in motion in the far slot as well. Instead, handoff to the big running back, Keenan Miller. He's trying to barrel his way to off right tackle, but lucky to have made it to the line of scrimmage. He may have lost a yard on that one. We'll wait and see the spot. It's going to be second down and 11 as they roll. He was down at the 23. The Raiders' own 23-yard line with 12:37 to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, he took that and was going across field, but they penetrated, picked him up, and he only picked up, oh boy, less than a yard on that play.
If we sound like we're in the dark on Myrtle Beach, we're no more so than Chief Moore and the whole River City Raiders team and coaching staff. No info provided in advance. As there's some movement on the offensive line, and that play is blown dead as the ball never got to Mike Tyndall.
It was offense against the Sharks. At least that's the way it appears from here.
Yeah, it looks like the Sharks may have encroached. As that is indeed encroachment against the Myrtle Beach Sharks. Looked like big Frankie Hall was caught maybe getting a little overeager, so it's a gain of 5 for the Raiders. 2nd down and 6 now in Myrtle Beach territory on their 22-yard line.
The amazing thing is about it, both offense and the defense, you got some guys that are really packing some pounds down there. They've got that in the muscle, and they came to play as a quarterback. That's really what you look forward to.
Well, Mike Tyndall operating out of the shotgun. One receiver on the far side, one receiver on the near side, Johnny King. Man in the slot in motion is DeAndre Jackson. Tyndall looking deep, looking for Chris Head, and he finds him at the 5.
And he's in.
1 touchdown, Raiders.
That was great.
And there are a couple flags on the play, so we'll wait and see what that was. But if that stands, it'll be a 22-yard touchdown from Tyndall to King.
Well, he went down on the close side of the sideline.
And that flag was
Raiders!
11:46 to go here in the first.
Again, he went down the sideline. That was a hook pattern. He picked it up, caught it, got by the defender, turned it upfield, and dove into the end zone for the first TD. And that's what the Raiders need to show the Sharks, that you got that 3 points first, but here's 6 in your face.
So James Neal on to kick the point after, set up at the 10-yard line where DeJuan Bolden's the holder. Snap is back, ball is down, kick is up, money. 7-3 Raiders, 11:19 to go here in quarter number 1.
Your Raiders 7, Sharks 3.
To show the visitors, hey, you're in our house right now, so we're going to show you what we came here for, and we're not going to end the season by letting you come from out of nowhere to our house and take this from us. It's not going to happen. So that's a great sign for the Raiders to let the 3 points go early in the game and come back with a big 7.
So it is now 7-3. So far we've already seen an Uno, a safety, and a touchdown. I guess all we're waiting on is a field goal for the most part, and a 2-point conversion.
Well, the thing about the Raiders, you have to put that 3-point behind you. Now that you've scored, you realize one thing. We can't score against these guys right now, so the offense has to be talking about it. You got to look at the defense for the Raiders and tell them, hey, get the ball back, we'll score again.
So James Neal teeing it up from his own goal line. Tried the onside kick last time. It didn't work, but Chris Williams really changed the momentum of the game with his big interception.
He's got great control with that leg. He just might leave it up high so they can run up under it.
It looks like that's Antoine Steele back deep along with Jared Harris. Neal high end-over-end kick right down central, and it is into the protective netting. Netting is not in play in this league, so it'll be first and 10 for the Sharks on their own 20-yard line with 11:19 to go.
That was a good kick. He shows he has a very accurate foot, so even if they don't go all the way down the field with a kicker like this guy they have down there for the...
Now, it was supposed to be first and 10 on the 20, but the officials just announced they are enforcing the personal foul, hands to the face, from the touchdown. So they are actually marking off the full 15 yards, not even half the distance. So the Raiders have it. They've held Myrtle Beach to first and 10 from their Myrtle Beach 5-yard line. So essentially, minus the 1 point, it's just like if he kicked it through the uprights.
Well, that's great position for the defense. You wanted to hold that ball deep toward their goal line. So you got them down the 10-yard line. Let's see what the D's going to do. Got to have a great charge from the 3 interior linemen.
Horton operating out of the shotgun. Single man in motion. Simon Phoenix, he motions to the near slot, and he got quite the head start. Horton under pressure,
They got him.
He is tied up.
Oh,
he goes down.
Bernard Quinn and Keenan Mace.
Bernard Quinn coming in to finish
Sack
it off.
in the backfield.
Chris Williams in on the tackle as well.
Loss of 1 on the play. Second and 11.
Loss of 1.
Ball at the Shark.
It looked like they wound up actually moving the ball from the 5 to the 10-yard line after initially spotting it at the 5. But now it's almost a loss of 2. You know what, Don? We're going to call it a loss of 2.
Well, that's
second down and 12 from the 18, or from the 8.
Bernard Quinn, he started off to the left, hooked around, and when he came through, there was someone holding up the quarterback, and he finished him off. But that's what you want from your defensive lineman. Great penetration.
Now Jared Harris is the man in motion. He motions to the far side. Horton looking to pass under pressure.
Chris Williams in the backfield.
Safety for the Raiders.
Okay.
Big Chris Williams.
Down at the 1-yard line.
Guys on the field, but Chris Williams in on the safety. It looked like he had some help as well from Kevin Adams. And the Raiders are now up 9-3, it looks like. As we're waiting for an official call, looks like the officials may be changing it, because it looked like it was down in the end zone, but we have yet to see the official safety call from the refs.
Well, I'll tell you, with Quinn and that pursuit, they went straight past the center. He must have looked up and wondered what had happened, because the quarterback, by the time he got the ball, you had number 90, Quinn, there, right in his face, and Adams was there for a little piece of that tidbit also.
So they rolled forward progress just over the goal line. So it's going to be 3rd down and 19 from inside the 1-yard line. Man in motion, Simon Phoenix in the near slot.
They have to pass it. They got him.
The pass, gets away from some tacklers, and he makes the completion, but Theo Alexander was right on the wide receiver, Darrell Gooden. So it was a completion of about 12 yards. They actually roll it an 11-yard completion. So it gets it up to the 12, but it's still 4th down and 8 from the 12 with 8:41 to go.
That was great penetration from the interior line. You got the monster man right there over the center. He penetrated. Then you had number 52, Adams. He was in there also, and the quarterback just kind of sidestepped him and got a quick pass off. So that's great pursuit from that interior line for the Raiders.
All right, football fans, we got to hold them right here. Let's make some noise here, Raiders defense.
They need to make the 20. Man in motion, Jared Harris. Marlon Horton operating out of the shotgun. He steps back, 3-step drop, scrambling, and he makes the connection complete to Simon Phoenix.
The 23-yard
just
line.
shy of midfield. It's down at the 23, but that's good enough for a Myrtle Beach first down. So Myrtle Beach gambled on 4th down. It was pretty much either have to go for a field goal. There's no punting, so it's either kick a field goal or go for it. They went for it, and they succeeded. So they have a fresh set of downs with 7:45 to go and counting, and the Raiders on top 7-3.
Well, that time they spread out the defense. The quarterback looked, he took him down 15 yards and having come across, kind of delay, he caught the pass for a first down.
Two receivers far side, one to the near side. Some bumping and shoving going on the near side, but Horton makes the completion off to the far side to Daryl Gooden. He got up to midfield, it looked like, before getting pushed back. We'll wait and see where his forward progress is, but it'll be second down and long as they officially give him a gain of 2, so it's at midfield, second down and 8.
That was good pursuit by the defense. So the D-back came up, he hooked him. He had some help coming over from the linebacker spot.
Horton back operating out of the shotgun. Wide receiver on the far side is Simon Phoenix. Receiver on the near side, Jared Harris, is motioning over into the far slot as well. Good enough in the near slot. Horton gets the pass, and before he can even throw it, the play is ruled dead. It looks like it's going to be a false start against Myrtle Beach. And it is indeed a 5-yard penalty that pushes them back to their own 20-yard line. So it's going to be second down and 13 now from the 20.
All right, football fans.
It's a matter of timing because
we say go. You say defense. Are you ready?
Man in motion,
go.
And if he doesn't get it right, he's
go.
further downfield before the ball is snapped. So that's something that you have to watch.
Louder! Louder! Louder!
So Marlon Horton, 4 of 5 passing here on the evening.
Well, we got to have, again, that hot pursuit coming off that offensive line, not to get this man a lot of time to throw passes. Looks like
one receiver
number 2
on the far side, motioning over to far side, Daryl Gordon, number 2, as you mentioned. Takes the snap on the shotgun, throws to the near side, and it
doesn't look like he caught that, and there's a flag down.
Incomplete, as it was intended for Jared Harris, but as you mentioned, there is a flag in the backfield.
Holding. Yeah, it seemed at that time the receiver was on the far side.
And it is a holding call on big offensive lineman Kyle Brookman, 6'3", 275 pounds.
What did that tell you about the D-line for the Raiders?
Oh, yeah, they are definitely getting to the offensive line of Myrtle Beach. As DJ Prue has the joint hopping here at the Family Arena. Cheerleaders are dancing along. It's a party here in St. Charles. 5:40 to go. Raiders up 7-3. But right now for Myrtle Beach, it is second down and 23 from the Myrtle Beach 10-yard line. Marlon Horton operating out of the shotgun. One receiver on the far side, one receiver on the near side. Motioning from near to far side is Jared Harris. Horton, 3-step drop, looking to pass, goes to the middle of the field, and it is just a little too high for Simon Phoenix. Great coverage by Theo Alexander, who was able to take home earlier in the season a Paul Minio's Player of the Game award.
Well, I tell you, Alexander that time, he came down, he picked him up, coming across the line of scrimmage, and he looked like he was part of his jersey. He covered him when the ball came. He kind of gave him a little, hey, I'm here, sir. And the ball went over his head.
So it is now third down and 23. Myrtle Beach on their own 10-yard line. They need to get to the River City Raiders 17 for a first down. Of course, Myrtle Beach has shown that they can make something happen with third down and long just earlier in the game. Well, earlier in this drive, to be exact.
Last time the Sharks was throwing it midfield. They had the long man go long, and the opening was in the middle.
Horton gets the snap, 3-step drop, scrambling, finds a receiver on the near side, and it is complete to Jared Harris. He gets to the 20, second effort, gets him up to about the 18-yard line for Harris. Brian Lowry in on the coverage for the Raiders, and that makes fourth down and long.
That was a good pursuit by the defense. Again, he went on the close side of the field, made the catch, and the defense pinned him against the barrier right here.
Now, Jared Harris was ruled down at his own 19-yard line. That's where they rolled. He was initially touched down. So it's going to be fourth down and about 15 yards to go, 14 to be exact. 4th and 14 for Myrtle Beach. Two receivers on the far side, Daryl Gooden, Simon Phoenix. Jared Harris is in the slot now. Phoenix motioning over to the near side. Gooden takes the snap out of the shotgun, and their flags are flying, as you mentioned, Don, and it looks like there was some movement on the offensive line.
Well, the problem is that the man in motion does not have his timing down. Before the ball is snapped, he's 2 or 3 yards past the line of scrimmage.
That was officially offsides on Myrtle Beach. So that's already, by my count, at least 3 penalties for the Sharks. So the Sharks are getting rattled by the River City Raiders playing in front of the home crowd at the Family Arena.
Well, the defense for the Raiders have to take advantage of this. It's great field position. They can't let them have this. This is 4th down, so let's get the ball right now.
So Myrtle Beach continuing to go for it after the penalty now. It is 4th down and 19 from their own 14-yard line. Horton, 3-step drop, looking to throw, airs it out.
There he is. Catch it.
The Phoenix.
All right, interception.
Taken away by Gary Johnson, playing a little 2 ways. Johnson picked it up at the 5 to the 10, 15, 20, trying to break free from a tackler at the 22.
Johnson on the interception.
By Kyle
up
Brookman.
To the 21-yard line. Raiders, first down.
So the River City Raiders take over, 1st and 10. The second turnover, second interception of the game.
Well, that time Johnson was dropping back. He was reading the quarterback. It was a deep pass. He cut across the field, and at an angle, he had a better inside look at it and catch than the wide receiver. The receiver was kind of behind him, but he picked it off in his hands and turned it upfield. And that's the attitude that the Raiders need all night long. Now they need to go down and score.
So Mike Tyndall gets a chance to lead the River City Raiders offense. He has 1 touchdown in his lone passing attempt. As the teams are huddling up, Paul Minio's at Westport Plaza is the official restaurant sponsor of the Friday Night Sports Jam, which is going to be relaunched coming up here in a matter of weeks. So be sure to stay tuned to 590 The Fan, 105.7 HD2 FM, and InsideSTL.com for more details. I'm going a little later at night, having some fun. You, Don, frequently sit in the show, as do I, along with our partner, Todd Blackstock, the voice of the Raiders, who is on assignment this evening.
Yeah, Todd's busy right now, but he's missing a great game.
I don't think he's missing. I talked to Todd a little earlier, and he is listening on the mobile app for InsideSTL.com and 590 The Fan.
Well, when you talk about listeners, Todd's not alone. But we need to get the people here that are listening, because this is a very exciting athletic event. It's a lot of action. It's not the delays you would have if you would have the regular football stadium. So they need to come out and really support the Raiders, because the Raiders are making a statement.
And the Raiders are leading 7-3. 2:58 to go here in the first quarter. I'm David Solomon alongside Don Johnson. I'd like to thank Matt Davis helping us out at the 590 The Fan studios in beautiful St. Charles. As the River City Raiders taking a feel after the TV timeout. We, of course, staying with you to entertain, inform, and enlighten.
With 2 minutes and 58 seconds to go, they need to go across the yard line and show these guys that they can score once they get their hands on the ball.
Raiders right now, Keenan Miller, the running back, alongside Mike Tyndall. Chris Head motioning over to the near side. Quick little screen pass to Johnny King. King over the 20, gets up to about the 23-yard line.
Johnny King on the catch across the 20.
Gain of 2 on the play.
Down to the 23-yard line.
Yeah, that time
Second
King was
down
a
and
delay,
7
man.
Raiders.
They had a receiver, 2 of them on the near side of the field. One was the blocker. King was the delay man. He picked it up and turned around with the block and picked up about 3 yards on the play.
So it's officially a gain of 2. Second down and 8 from the Raiders' 23-yard line. Raiders going from right to left. Chris Head, the receiver on the near side. Johnny King on the far side. Man in motion on the far slot is DeAndre Jackson. Instead, it's a direct snap to Keenan Miller.
Oh,
over the
he's
25,
good. He's good.
15.
Rumbling and stumbling.
Miller on the carry. Down to the 10-yard line.
Of about 17 for Keenan Miller as they roll that forward progress. Took him.
Raiders
not
deep
quite giving him
inside
up to the
Sharks
10.
territory.
On second thought, they are.
First
actually,
down.
as the official stopped at the 12-yard line. Then he saw what we saw here in the broadcast booth. Gain of 17 for Keenan Miller. You don't see that very often on the ground. Chief Moore displaying a little trickery with the direct snap. First down and goal for the Raiders on the Myrtle Beach 10-yard line. 1:30 to go here in the first quarter. Raiders on top, 7-3. Mike Tyndall, the quarterback. Right now, he is under center. Keenan Miller, the lone back in the backfield. Chris Head on the near side. DeAndre Jackson in the slot. Tyndall looking to pass, tries for Jackson in the end zone, and they just didn't have their timing on the same page, as that was not even close to being catchable. So that brings up second and goal from the 10.
Intended for number 11,
the man in motion, number 11, Jackson. He got across the line of scrimmage. He was downfield, turned to his left, but he wasn't there soon enough. The quarterback had no delay on that pass. It was a rocket.
So the River City Raiders break the huddle. Johnny King going to the far side. DeAndre Jackson in the slot. Chris Head on the near side. Raiders offensive line features Anthony Jackson, Derek Solomon, the new center as well. Tyndall in the shotgun, looking for a receiver, tries to go in the end zone.
Touchdown, Raiders!
For the touchdown from 10 yards out.
DeAndre Jackson!
It is 13-3 Raiders.
Well, the thing about that pass, he went downfield on the far side, and he cut to the outside, which is really around the barriers that's out of bounds. A man was all over him. He leaned forward as he was diving. He made the catch and pulled it in with the defender coming over the top. Great deal of concentration on that catch, and that's telling you a lot about the receivers for the Raiders.
Well, with the clock running, we will be at the end of the first quarter as soon as James Neal tries to kick the point after. Neal set up at the Myrtle Beach 10-yard line with DeJuan Bolden as his holder. Neal measuring off his steps now as Bolden gets ready to take the snap.
He's got an accurate leg.
Snap is back, ball is down, kick is up, and it is good.
James Neal is good.
Converts on his
Your
second
Raiders
point
14,
after attempt. So at the end of the first
3.
quarter, it is the River City Raiders 14.
Raiders fans,
Myrtle
if the
Beach
Raiders
Sharks
score
3.
50 or more
We'll
points
be back
tonight,
in 1
make sure to
minute.
mention
You're
Raiders
listening to
that
River City Raiders football on
Stephanie's
590 The Fan,
Pizzeria locations
105.7
Friday
HD2
for
FM,
$5
and
off our
InsideSTL.com.
Championship Catering is the
listening to Love
exclusive
Advice
pregame
with
caterer
Leanne.
of your River
Caller,
City
you're on the air.
Raiders.
Hi,
Please
Leanne.
contact Chef Larry G
First-time caller.
for all your catering
Why,
needs
in your
and let them
professional
know
opinion,
the
you
River
never
City
take my
Raiders
calls
sent you.
off the air.
Is this Carl?
Yep, it's Carl. I mean, we had a few
Raiders
dates. Everything was great. I thought.
Please follow
You
your
know,
River City Raiders and stay
when
up
you
to date
switch to
on all the Raiders
Geico,
news
you
at
could save a lot of money on
IndoorRaiders.com
car
and on
insurance.
Facebook.
Okay,
Indoor
awesome.
Raiders, and
You
make
should
sure
call
to
them.
use
I
hashtag
will.
Indoor Raiders
Geico, because
in your
saving
photos.
15% or more on car insurance is always a great answer.
I just want to be sure.
It's time for breakfast at Burger King.
Remember at Burger King, I got the 3 for 89-cent pancake deal?
Yeah.
I tried to take one.
But they're 89 cents.
Yeah.
You can spare one.
I understand, but you know what I said.
Well, you said respect the stack.
And did you?
No, I like pancakes. Respect that stack. Get 3 pancakes for just 89 cents. That's 3 fluffy golden pancakes for 89 cents now at Burger King. Here's another great breakfast deal. 2 croissant sandwiches for just $4. Only at Burger King. Limited time at participating Burger King restaurants.
You're listening to American Indoor Football on 590 The Fan, home of your River City Raiders. Now back to the Family Arena with Todd Blackstock and Dave Solomon.
David Solomon alongside Don Johnson coming to you from the St. Charles Family Arena where the River City Raiders lead the Myrtle Beach Sharks 14-3. Todd Blackstock, the voice of the Raiders, is on assignment. James Neal set to kick off for the Raiders after they scored a touchdown to make it 14-3. DeAndre Jackson, 10-yard reception from Mike Tyndall. James Neal converted the point after, and that's how the Raiders concluded the scoring in the first quarter to get a 14-3 lead after Myrtle Beach scored the first 3 points on an uno and a safety.
Now, during that timeout, the chief, the head coach for the Raiders, had a conversation with the officials down there. It seemed like he was concerned about how the Sharks are using their hands against the players.
Neal, high kick, just off mark with the uprights. It was just a little bit short, just went out of bounds, so it'll be a touchback, and the ball will be placed on the 20-yard line as it was just out of the reach of Jared Harris.
I'll tell you, Harris went back. He looked like a center fielder, but he wasn't aware of the wall because he dove and he went over the wall.
Ladies and gentlemen, the River City Raiders
of the wall at all times.
would like to thank all of
if
our
you're in the
veterans
stands
serving
taking advantage of the free tickets, and you can
in
say
the
whatever
United
you want,
States
because you know
military.
some teams, as they're officially
United
rolling,
States
I guess
Navy.
Harris got a hand on the ball. They're
United
officially
States
rolling
Army.
the ball will be
United
at
States
the
Air
5-yard
Force,
line, not the
United
20.
States Marines,
Sometimes the
and the
rules
United
change
States
from game to
Coast
game
Guard.
here in indoor football. That's one of the beauty of it, is you just never know what you might
The
see
Raiders
here at the
Nation
Family
salute
Arena,
you
other than
for
some
your service.
quality play by the River City Raiders, I might add, and family-friendly entertainment.
Well, you need to get over here. Bring the family. It's affordable. It's entertainment and action that you'll love.
And as we didn't have time to get to that part of the interview, but I asked Chief, because there's a post-game autograph session, he reaffirmed that not only are the tickets free, but so is the autograph session. So if you've ever wanted to be on the field after a game, I remember going to indoor football, indoor soccer games as a kid, and the field was just such a mystical place. Never could get on there, but now you can. Free autographs on the field, win or lose, and the players are always more than eager to sign and talk to the fans. That's how you make fans for life.
Well, if you
All right, football fans, we got to hold them right here. Let's hear it for your Raiders defense.
They could be on the field.
So it's 1st and 10 from the 5-yard line. Marlon Horton operating out of the shotgun. 2 receivers to the far side, 1 receiver to the near side for Myrtle Beach. High snap. Horton under pressure. He just gets it away, but he bounces it to Darrell Gooden. The bounce passes are no good in any football. So it's going to be 2nd down and 10 from the 5.
Intentional grounding on the quarterback.
And they roll that one out. Intentional grounding in the end zone. So that's a safety for the Raiders.
All right, let's hear it for your Raiders defense.
That was a desperation throw.
I know, but I was kind of caught a little off guard by that one because it looked like it was pretty direct towards the receiver.
There was a eligible receiver in the area. There's no penalty.
But again,
and they just saw what I saw and ruled that there is no intentional grounding penalty. So, and I think it was pretty close enough in the direction of Darrell Gooden that you could rule that it may have been a desperation heave, but if it was a very well placed one.
Well, I mean, he was in the embrace of one of the Raiders, number 82, I think that was. 92, yeah. He was in his embrace. So that could have gone either way, but that's a blessing for the Sharks. But you want that 3D line to be hungry and to pursue straight across the line.
2nd down and 10 now from the 5. Man in motion on the near slot is Jared Harris, and he gets a real head start down the field. But
they got him. And they gave it.
Interception! Touchdown! Raiders!
And the River City Raiders come up with the football. I don't know whether it's going to be ruled an interception or a fumble, but the Raiders came up with the ball, and it's a touchdown, River City.
It can't be a fumble. In that situation, the quarterback was going back. He was looking to get rid of the ball. When he threw it, one of the Raiders caught the ball. That fell down in the end zone. He was tackled in the end zone. So the Raiders turned his panic to get rid of the ball into a touchdown.
And that was just some great hands by the Raiders as well, coming up with that one.
But that was great pursuit on the lineman coming across, making that quarterback panic. Because they got to him before and he felt that. So when he felt it coming this time, he got credit with throwing it away last time.
I'm going to double check, but it looked like it may have been Big Kevin Adams showing some good hands.
Well, when he was trying to get rid of it, he threw it right into the hands of one of the Raiders who was right in his face.
So James Neal on for the point after. Raiders now going from left to right. Dewan Bolden the holder. Snap is back, ball is down, kick is up. It's good.
James Neal, extra point is good.
Boy, he's got a rocket leg.
21. Sharks.
Once he jacks that back leg and comes forward, it's going straight through those uprights. But again, this is the mental impact that you want the Raiders to make. 21-3 right now, this visiting team, and 21 is not enough. So the defense is doing their job right now. They're not letting them score. They gave them those 3 points during the first minutes of the game, and they haven't scored since, and that's what you want. That gives your defense more and more confidence the longer the game proceeds.
So Myrtle Beach set to kick off once again. Victor Leventritt open up the scoring with an Uno to start the game. Myrtle Beach on the next River City play came up with a safety, and after that they've been held off the board as the Raiders have scored 21 unanswered points.
You know, when this game got started, we were wondering what kind of offense would the Sharks show here, because there was not any pregame information that was given. But right now, the Raiders don't have a worry in the world about that. The Sharks is trying to figure out what happened, because they walked into a cesspool right now, and they're starting to go under right now. 21-3, and we got plenty of time, because this is just the second quarter with 13:09 remaining in this quarter.
So James Neal teeing the ball up on his own goal line, and he is kicking almost on the right up against the board. So I wonder if he's going to try for the onside kick here. He's sure angled like it, as all the Raiders stand to Neal's left. Myrtle Beach has 4 up men, about 2 men around midfield, and then the 2 deep backs ready to receive.
A good squib kick would be good too.
And it's a high end-over-end kick.
Oh, he tossed it.
Chris Williams, he was able to get a hand on it, but in the end, it looks like Myrtle Beach recovers the ball at the 22-yard line of River City.
Great opportunity, but they missed a great chance to just get that ball, because one of the Sharks touched it. It went over his head, and if the Raiders just could have pulled that in, it would have been a sweet situation.
So James Neal showing his versatility. Coden Aspilider actually came up with that ball up against the Myrtle Beach bench. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Myrtle Beach from the River City Raiders 21-yard line. 13:05 to go and counting. Raiders on top, 21-3.
D-line for the Raiders. Switch that. The D-line for the Raiders, they've got to keep that pursuit going, not let up. The quarterback was kind of in a panic situation last time he possessed the ball twice, so they have to keep that pressure up.
So Marlon Barber standing at his 25-yard line in the shotgun. Low snap, and Barber has to go back and chase it, and he goes down at the 14-yard line. That's going to maybe be the easiest sack of Kevin Adams' career, as he was all over Barber at the 14.
Big loss on the play for the Sharks.
Loss of about 15 on the play. They officially rolled a loss of 16, so it's going to be 2nd down and 26 to go from the Myrtle Beach 13-yard line.
Adams gave him a little something to think about. Again, he went straight across the field, saw the quarterback scrambling for the ball. The quarterback got it, and he pinned him to the turf.
2nd down and very long from the 13 for Myrtle Beach. 2 receivers to the far side. The lone receiver on the near side is Simon Phoenix. Marlon Barber operating out of the shotgun. Phoenix motioned over to the far side. Another low snap. Barber under pressure, and he goes down. Deion Morris stepping in on defense. It looked like Keenan Mason on the sack as well. And Marlon Barber has been under pressure all night. A bigger loss on the play, loss of 6. It is now 3rd down and 28. Myrtle Beach was started off in River City Raiders territory. Now they are at their own 5-yard line.
Number 87, Mace, was all in his face. That's what it looks like from here. He pursued across that, pushed the offensive lineman out of the way.
3rd down and 28. Off the Sharks' 5-yard line.
Oh, yeah. Mace in his face. That's going to be a common theme on the broadcast tonight. So 3rd down and 28 from the 5-yard line. Marlon Barber and the Myrtle Beach Sharks have their work cut out for them. 3 receivers, all now on the far side as Phoenix motions out into the far slot. Barber looking to throw, looking, goes to the middle of the field. He makes the connection with Jared Harris up to the 15, the 18-yard line before Theo Alexander and Rodarius Whittier in on the tackle, just shy of the 20, just shy of the the Myrtle Beach 20, I should add. But there's still about 10 yards short of the original line of scrimmage, bringing up 4th down and 20. So despite a gain of 14 on the play, 4th down and 20 to go.
Well, that time was a little delayed by the D-line for the Raiders getting across there, so he had some time to see a man going across the field, and he laid it in his hands.
Darrell Gooden wide on the far side. We'll see how the Myrtle Beach receivers initially line up. Myrtle Beach in their first year as a franchise. Simon Phoenix on the near side. Harris now in the far slot in motion. Another low snap, and it looks like there was a little premature movement on the Myrtle Beach offensive line.
I'm trying to see whether the receiver has to be.
5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
And it actually rolled offside on the man in motion.
At the line of scrimmage,
Jared Harris, he's been getting off to some awfully big jumps, and I know they'll usually give you a couple yards before the ball snap, but he's been getting like 5 yards down the field.
Exactly, he's way down the field. I don't know where his timing has come from, but my understanding, you're supposed to be at the line of scrimmage when the ball is snapped, not 2 or 3 yards downfield.
Now, Don, the indoor game kind of has some similarities to the Canadian game. So, are there any differences with the man in motion?
With the Canadian game?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Like I said, he can be running full speed as long as he's not across that line of scrimmage.
Ball with the Sharks, 14-yard line.
The field is so wide. You got about 10 extra yards on the sideline. You go down to the end zone, you got 15 extra yards in the end zone, so it's a big field.
It's a big field, but there's some similarities with the vertical man in motion. But now it is 4th down and 25 to go from the Myrtle Beach 14-yard line. Harris, the man in motion again. This time he is onside, but Horton under pressure. And it dropped in. Probably better for the Raiders as Gary Johnson got his hands on it. Theo Alexander on the coverage as well. But the Raiders are going to get some awesome field position.
Well, that time the quarterback kind of laid it up. But if I had
River City 1st and 10
I would tell Alexander,
14.
Alexander should have not waited for the ball to come into his hands. He should have kind of cut it out and jumped for the ball.
But in the end, they batted it down, and the Raiders have the ball 1st and 10 in Myrtle Beach territory on the 14-yard line with 9:16 to go and a 21-3 lead.
Well, that's one way of looking at it. Mine is if you get it right there and people are scattered all over the field, that goal line just seems to be calling your name.
I know. But for me up here, I tend to take more of the conservative approach. It's good to be conservative in something at least. 1st and 10 now from the Myrtle Beach 14 for the Raiders, going from left to right. Keenan Miller alone back in the backfield. Johnny King wide to the far side. DeJuan Bolden wide to the near side. Chris Head, the man in motion on the near slot. Tyndall goes to the far side for Johnny King. Oh, he had a catch. He went into the stands. He came out with the football. Touchdown! Raiders! King went right hand right through the goalpost as he jumped on the dasher boards to spike it.
Unbelievable hand.
There's a flag on the field. Johnny King's going to probably get flagged for unsportsmanlike conduct, but after that catch and that slam, go ahead, take the yards. It is 27-3. Can't deny that.
It was too much of a celebration. Again, he went to the far side of the field. He was against the barriers, pulled it in one-handed, and then went over backwards. But going over backwards,
Johnny King with a catch.
He had full possession.
That may have been one of the best catches I've ever seen in indoor football. It's King's 2nd touchdown catch on the evening, 3rd catch overall. Johnny King, an early candidate for Paul Minio's Player of the Game honors.
If there's any promotional shots to advance and get people interested in arena football, that one should be included.
Absolutely. That's got to make the Raiders highlight video. And by the way, Paul Minio's restaurant in Westport Plaza, great Italian food, great service. Ask for John as your waiter when you're there. James Neal on to attempt the point after. DeJuan Bolden the holder. Snap is back, and it's an attempted direct snap to Bernard Quinn, and all he can do is fall on it as he fumbled the initial snap as it was low. So it remains 27-3 as Chief maybe getting a little greedy on that one.
I don't know. It seemed like they wanted a little sneak it in the end zone that time. But again, the big man wasn't used to putting his hands on the ball.
We've seen Bernard Quinn, though, in the last couple games get at least 1 or 2 of those direct snaps to barrel in the end zone for the 2-point conversion.
Well, the good thing is that you keep the defense looking and thinking, are they going to kick it or what are they going to do? And you want to keep your opponent wondering what's going to happen next.
So the Raiders on top, 27-3, 7:48 to go here in the first half. David Solomon alongside Don Johnson. Matt Davis back in our St. Charles studios. Todd Blackstock, the voice of the Raiders, on assignment, but managing to take a few minutes to listen in, as are you, as we enjoy keeping you company here on a beautiful Saturday night at the St. Charles Family Arena.
You know, Todd's probably listening to the game, but I always enjoy a phone call from Todd because he has something to add to the event.
Todd, if you happen to be listening at this moment, we'd love to hear from you if you're up for it on the Fire Fan phone lines here at the half. But right now, we've still got 7:45 to go and counting here in the second quarter with the Raiders up by 24. Now, James Neal has teed the ball up right over in the center of the field on the goal line. The Raiders have 3 players to his left, 4 to his right, as Neal going deep, high, end-over-end kick right down central, and it is fielded by one of the 2 deep men for Myrtle Beach. The ball is advanced to the 10 to about the 13-yard line where Chris Williams on the tackle.
On the stop for Raiders special team.
Chris Williams with the stop on
Morris
Antoine Steele.
Yeah, that was lucky 13 that caught that and tried to run it out.
13-yard line, first and 10.
I believe that was Antoine Steele.
We will now enforce the 10-yard penalty.
But now it's the 10-yard penalty enforced on the unsportsmanlike penalty call on Johnny King. And, you know, you never want to see guys take penalties. But at least Johnny King, A, had the catch to back it up. And as old Dizzy Dean said, it's not bragging if you can back it up. And with the celebration, the slam through the goalpost by jumping on the end boards showed such athleticism. In a game like this, up by 24, as long as the Raiders don't lose the game, I'll take those 10 yards any day. Because I just got my money's worth, even if it's $0 as a fan coming to the game. 1st and 10 on the 22 for Myrtle Beach after the penalty. Jared Harris motioning over to the near side. Horton, handoff. And the big running back, Cody Aspenleiter, going nowhere. Aspenleiter measuring in at 5'11", 230.
No gain on the play.
Not only is there no gain on the play, it looks like he may have lost at least 2 yards. Okay, they rolled that it's more a loss of a little more than 1, so we're going to go ahead and call this 2nd and 11 from the Myrtle Beach 21.
As C. Berry would say, no particular place to go.
Exactly. The late, great Chuck Berry. Still an influence to this day right here on River City Raiders football. Marlon Horton continues to operate out of the shotgun. One receiver to the far side, two receivers to the near side. Now Jared Harris motioning over to the far side. He had a problem staying on side today, but plenty of time, plenty of distance as Horton goes deep on the sideline. He makes the connection.
Touchdown, Sharks.
He did do it. He wrestled the ball away from
Daryl
Gary
Gooden on the
Johnson.
catch.
As it looked like there may have been a little confusion in the Raiders' backfield between Johnson and Theo Alexander. The epic 29-yard touchdown reception, and Myrtle Beach has its first offensive score of the game, 27-9, 5:40 to go here in the first half.
What did I tell you about Johnson? He was back there and he was waiting for the ball to come in his hands. He should have jumped, and he would have gotten the ball, but he was waiting for it to lay in his hands. When he sees that ball coming, he needs to say Oscar and jump up and get as high as he can to get that interception. If he had got that, he never would have scored. Can't give him TDs.
Victor Leventritt on to attempt the extra point. Snap is back, ball is down, the kick is up, right down central.
Extra point is good. Your score, Raiders.
It is now 27-10. Raiders
Sharks
on top
10.
with 5:07 to go here in quarter number 2 from the Family Arena. The regular season home finale for the River City Raiders. We talked a little about playoff implications on the last broadcast. The Raiders pretty much have to win out, and they have to win big when their rematches on the road against the Richmond Rough Riders and the Florida Tarpons as well. So it'll take a lot, but playoff hope's still alive. There's at least a small bastion of hope for the River City Raiders.
Well, the good thing for the Raiders, if they can take this victory and stay healthy, you don't want your key players to come up lame or not able to play if you are to advance from here on out. So they got to play hard, they got to play tough, but again, they can't take it for granted that if they beat this team, hey, we're going to take it easy. No, you got to play hard for the full time that you're down on that football field, and you got to get that mentality. So whether you're at home or whether you're away, you got that same mentality. Once the clock starts, it's all out.
So Myrtle Beach has teed the ball up. Victor Leventritt has teed it up outside the far hash marks on his own goal line. DeAndre Jackson standing underneath the uprights in his own end zone to receive. Line drive, end over end kick, right down central, and it bounces off the crossbar. So just shy of being another single. I didn't think it initially had the height, but he almost got another Uno.
Yeah, he put a lot of foot in there. That was a lot of power bringing it down the field.
So because the Uno attempt was no good, it looks like it is going to be 1st and 10 for the Raiders on their own 20 with 4:49 to go here in the second quarter.
Well, the Raiders need to come back and score right now. Because let them get that TD. You know, you kind of get some false sense of, well, you know, we can come back after the half, etc. But if you score now, you're just rubbing it in their face.
So Raiders start off 1st and 10 on their own 20 as they break the huddle. Two receivers on the near side. DeJuan Bolden out wide. DeAndre Jackson in the slot. Chris Head out wide to the far side. Keenan Miller, the big fullback, is the single back in the backfield. Now Head motioning over to the near side in the slot as well. Tyndall on the shotgun, 5-step drop, going deep. He's got DeJuan Bolden, and he overthrows him as DeJuan Bolden was in tight coverage as Antoine Steele was all over him. The 5'10", 187-pound defensive back / kick returner out of San Jose City College.
Yeah, that time Steele was running down the field with him. He got in front of him, kind of obstructed his ability to go where the ball was. So he's got good speed.
Just the second incompletion on the evening for Mike Tyndall. 4 minutes to go. Raiders on top, 27-10. 2nd down and 10 from the 20-yard line. As Head, Jackson, and Bolden remain the 3 wide receivers on the field. Right now, all 3 are on the near side. We'll wait and see if DeAndre may motion over. Looks like they're just going to send him in motion on the near side and keep him there in the slot. So DeAndre in motion, running a route down the middle instead. Tyndall goes to Bolden on the near side of the field. Bolden catches it at 25, gets up to the 20, and he looks like he's right around the first down marker before he was taken down into the boards by Antoine Steele. The officials rule that he indeed made the 20, so it's a River City Raiders first down.
Bolden caught that and put his head down. He picked up 2 yards once he crossed that line. So he's a hard runner, and that's what got that first down.
Great second effort, which is very key, but on the short field, there's not a lot of room to go, so anytime you can break a tackle, it can pay great dividends. But right now, it is 1st down and 10 from the Myrtle Beach 20 as the Raiders go from left to right. Juan Bolden remains wide to the near side. Chris Head in the near slot. DeAndre Jackson motioning out to the far side. He will be the vertical man in motion for the Raiders. Mike Tyndall, 5-step drop, under pressure, airs it out for DeAndre Jackson. DeAndre Jackson leaps and comes down with it, but it hit the turf. And DeAndre Jackson, it looked like he almost had a touchdown reception. It would have been a great catch. There's a flag in the Raiders' backfield, so we'll wait and see whether Mike Tyndall may have taken a little cheap shot from Myrtle Beach.
As I was mentioning before, the receiver went down, but what did he do? He saw the ball coming, and he jumped as high as he could and just about came down with the catch.
And the penalties were unsportsmanlike conduct on each team. They will offset.
Second out.
So the officials, it looked like they were all set to mark off a penalty against the Raiders.
Yeah, a little bit more concentration on that last
As the umpires actually having trouble knowing where to spot the ball. Have you seen this before, Don? The officials actually trying to figure out where the line of scrimmage is. They wanted to put it back on the Raiders' own 20, but the Raiders already, the line of scrimmage was at the Myrtle Beach 20, so if the penalty's offsetting, that's where it'll stay. I've seen 4-yard penalties when they should be 5, but I've never quite seen this much confusion on spotting the ball.
Let's have some patience, young man.
I can't wait for the halftime show. 2:42 to go here. We'll update you on what's happened today in sports. We'll recap the Cardinals game, recap the first half. I guess I'll do a Solomon report as I'm kind of doing a little bit of everything here with you, Don.
Right, we got 4 officials down there. Now somebody has to get it right, so rest assured.
Yes, you would hope. But sometimes, every now and then, you have 5 downs in a football game on one drive, one series. Tyndall operating under center now. 3-step drop, looking to pass, goes back to the far corner of the end zone, and DeAndre Jackson has it against the boards. Touchdown, Raiders, 20 yards. Mike Tyndall to DeAndre Jackson, 33-10, 2:07 to go here in the first half.
That time he ran just past Jack Valentine, and he was back in the end zone by himself. The quarterback had a great angle over the top of the receiver's head, and he caught it in the corner of the end zone.
That's DeAndre Jackson's second touchdown reception of the evening. As I mentioned, Raiders on top, 33-10, 1:44 to go and counting. Clock only stops on penalties and official timeouts until you reach the final minute of each half. James Neal appears to be on, but Bernard Quinn is the up man. Snap back, ball down, kick by Neal is up, and it is good.
James Neal,
just through the
extra
upright.
point is good.
He's got a strong leg. You get him that close, you can put it on the scoreboard.
As close to automatic as you can get in the indoor game. So with 1:28 to go here in the second quarter, it is now 34-3, or rather 34-10 Raiders. Well, Don, since the last time you actually were able to come out here and watch the team, what's the biggest change you've seen with the Raiders?
Well, I don't really see any changes. Last time I was out here, it was an exciting game. It was high scoring. Again, the quarterback and the receivers, they were the 1-2 punch. And it's just this situation, I still say 1-2 punch, but I see they may have to kind of incorporate a little bit more running because they've got some big backs.
Yeah, Big Keenan Miller had a 17-yard run earlier. Expect to see him a little more maybe here in the second half. But right now we've still got 1:28 to go in the first half. As James Neal will kick from left to right, and he's teeing it up almost from the near sideline, so I expect another high kick. I guess you'll go ahead and call it an onside attempt as Myrtle Beach adjusts, as now their deep men are now standing at, one is at the 12-yard line, the other at the 7, shouting signals. So obviously Myrtle Beach expecting the onside kick.
You know, this is showing the depth of the Raiders. Why? Because they didn't get a scouting report on this team. They just came out with their game plan, and they have covered it to precision during this first quarter.
Myrtle Beach signed a couple local players to fill out their roster, too. So a high kick on the far side, jump ball, and the Myrtle Beach wide receiver, Darrell Gooden, came down with it with a leaping catch, and he hung on. So it'll be 1st and 10 Myrtle Beach at the River City Raiders 15, but last time Myrtle Beach had good field position, they wound up just getting deeper and deeper into their own territory.
Well, they gave the receiver a little bit of help. He caught it on the 15, and he landed on the 20.
And they gave him forward progress, so it'll be 1st and 10 on the 15. Each team has all 3 timeouts remaining, plus we'll have the 1-minute warning here with 1 minute to go in the first half when we hit that point.
Defense has to get the pressure on again. The 3D linemen, they've got to pursue and not give that quarterback enough time. But they have a short field to operate with.
1st and 10 on the 15. Man in motion is Jared Harris. Little low snap. Horton can't find anyone. He throws it out into the stands. No receiver in the vicinity. So it'll be 2nd down and 10 from the 15.
Well, it looked like that call with the far side of the field. The receiver went down. He was going to delay and then cut it upfield. That was the thought of the quarterback, but the interference from the Raider defensive back, that wasn't to be.
So we are at the 1-minute warning. So you'll get more conventional timing rules in the final minute of each half. As the clock will stop after an incompletion or an out-of-bounds play. And here's something else. To avoid teams taking a knee, the clock will stop if a run does not make the line of scrimmage. So there's no just taking a knee.
Well, the defense has to keep, the Raiders have to keep them out of the end zone. They can't let them score right now.
Let's make some noise for your defense.
They got to send them into the locker room with something to think about. You're losing bad.
2nd down for 10.
Oh, no.
Puts it right into the arms of Theo Alexander. He cannot hang on. Incomplete. 3rd and 10 now. 57 seconds to go here in the first half.
Alexander's got me wondering that the quarterback made a big mistake. He hit the defensive back in the hands. Oh, he stepped in front of him. That should have been an Oscar. He was thinking down the field when he caught the ball. That's when he dropped it. Sometimes when you catch a ball, you have to look at it in your hands.
3rd down and 10 for Myrtle Beach. They're on the River City Raiders 15. They can get a 1st down. 3 receivers all on the near side. Now Jared Harris motions over to the far side.
Watch the run.
Or the quarterback out of the shotgun. 3-step drop, looking to fast, goes to the middle of the field where he makes the connection with Simon Phoenix. Good for a 1st down, but not a touchdown as the Raiders getting a big touchdown saving tackle from Gary Johnson, playing both ways tonight.
They can't let them score.
51 seconds to go.
On the 2-yard line. If they can stop them here, it'll be part of the back-breaking effort. If they let them score, they'll give them some false enthusiasm.
So it's 1st and goal from the 2. 32 seconds to go and counting. Play clock is not moving as we have a timeout on the field as Myrtle Beach called its first timeout.
Timeout Sharks. Their first timeout.
As Myrtle Beach now still has 2 timeouts remaining. The Raiders have all 3 of their timeouts remaining. As we are coming to you live on 590 The Fan, KFNS Wood River, 105.7 HD2 FM, KPNT HD2 Collinsville, and inside STL.com, St. Louis. David Solomon, Don Johnson with you.
I don't know whether the Chiefs are substituting right now, but they cannot let them into the end zone with 27 seconds left. If they do, the Sharks going to think that there's a kink in the Raiders' armor.
Yeah, you never want a shark to smell blood in the water.
Nope.
And again, clock pretty much irrelevant here because Myrtle Beach still has 2 timeouts remaining. So it'd be interesting to see Myrtle Beach.
All right, football fans, let's make some noise for your defense. We got to hold up right here.
Right now on the 2-yard line.
Also have to keep an eye on the running back, Cody Aspenleider. But right now, 2 receivers on the near side, Darrell Gooden and Simon Phoenix. Now Jared Harris, the vertical man in motion in the near slot. Horton running for it, tries to get out to the outside on the near side, and he gets denied, taken down for a loss. Big Kevin Adams in on that tackle.
Timeout on the field.
And there's another timeout on the field as Myrtle Beach takes its second timeout with 18 seconds to go.
Now, is Kevin a member of the Adams family?
If they can change the spelling of Adams, he will definitely suffice. Otherwise, he's just going to have to be as part of the River City Raiders family.
Come on, he's got to be lurched down there on the football field.
Oh, yeah. 18 seconds to go. Raiders on top, 34-10. Here in the first half from Family Arena. Don Johnson alongside David Solomon. The voice of the Raiders, Todd Blackstock on assignment.
They just can't let him in with 18 seconds. I'm sorry. No. I don't want to see him let him in.
From the 4. Myrtle Beach only has 1 timeout remaining.
But you see the quarterback, he wants to run the ball because it's so close. So
now it's 4 yards.
Let him hear you, folks.
All 3 receivers
Let's
now on
make
the far
some
side.
noise.
Simon Phoenix is the vertical man in motion this time. Morton looking to throw, looking, tries to go to the end zone. He bounces it off the hands of Daryl
Once
Gooden.
again,
He threw
your
a
defense
rocket,
holds
just a
him.
little too hard. No touch on that pass.
Pass incomplete.
Clock stops with 14 seconds to go. 3rd and goal from the 4.
We have Daryl Gooden down there playing football.
Yeah, Daryl Gooden. He's playing a little of everything. You never know what they might do in this league.
A versatile athlete.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
14 seconds. Come on. Come on.
They're getting into it. DJ Prue revving them up. Simon Phoenix.
One more time, football fans. Let's hold them right here.
Side where he joins Jared Harris and Daryl Gooden. Horton takes the pass. 3-step drop. He's making a run for the end zone, and he gets in. Touchdown. As Chris Williams or Darius Whittier just couldn't get enough out of the end zone. And with 9 seconds to go, the Sharks cut the Raiders' lead to 34-16.
Yeah, I think that was a deception. He kind of had his lineman, keep him out, away from it. The center was wide open. He just ran straight down the field into the score.
Victor Leventritt on for the point after. He'll be kicking from the 10-yard line.
Watch the fake.
Snap is back, low snap, and now they are trying to make a run for it. It's Simon Phoenix trying to run to the end zone.
Oh, the ball is
by Chris Williams.
This man has got it. He fumbled it.
The defensive lineman picks it up, and now has to go for it. The ball is batting around like a pinball, and the players all pile on the 2-yard line.
Extra point
and
attempt
it looked
is no
like
good.
the ball came up to the kicker, Victor Leventritt. He tried to keep the play alive, and there's some pushing and shoving, but the ball was blown dead. Leventritt tried to run it into the end zone, but it looks like they blew it dead before he came up with it.
Yeah, it looks like there was some cheap shots that were taken. Number 4 down there, he's not happy.
That's the kicker, Victor Leventritt.
Somebody must have gave him a little something to think about. But
well, you know what? When the kicker becomes a runner, you're fair game.
That's
your score, Raiders 34.
Unbelievable. It looked like a hot potato
16
down there because he dropped it. I dropped it. I tried to get it. They pushed me out of the way. He got it. They knocked it out. It was unbelievable. Look at this.
And Don mentioning the high-definition video boards, clearly showcasing 1-2 fumbles. And then Brian Lowry tries to get it. He can't come up with it cleanly. And the ball is still bouncing around, and it looks like the refs just lost sight of it before Victor Leventritt came up with the football. It was probably already down, and he may have crossed the plane in the goal, but it's all academic from there.
It looked like that football was greased.
Now, if you haven't been to the Family Arena in a few years, about I'd say 4 years ago, they put in new high-definition video boards, one in each corner, got rid of the center-hanging scoreboard, which is great for indoor football because there's less of an obstacle and it makes the Uno more in play. Whereas back in the days when the River City Rage played here, the scoreboard was such an obstacle, the only way you could kick off was off to the side. Otherwise, if you tried to kick it through the uprights, you'd hit the scoreboard and the ball would be rolled dead.
But the way they have the scoreboard right now, there's not a bad seat in the house.
Not at all. Not a bad seat in the house and unobstructed views. If you're ever here for a concert, sporting event, convention, you name it. So 9 seconds to go. Victor Leventritt will be kicking off from his own goal line. He's got it outside, about halfway between the far hash mark and the far dasher boards. DeAndre Jackson standing in his own end zone. Brian Lowry, the up man, is standing at his own 10-yard line.
Watch the onside kick, because they can get some cheap shots with 9 seconds left.
Leventritt elects to kick it deep, and he's going to kick it right to DeAndre Jackson. DeAndre Jackson fields it in the back of his end zone. He's at the goal line, up to the 5, 10-yard line, 15, laterals it, tries to lateral it to Edwards, but he doesn't go very far. As
Raiders return the football to their own 23-yard line. First
taken
and
up
10.
to the 23-yard line, where the Raiders, with 2 seconds to go, will have one shot at either the end zone or a James Neal field goal. It looks like Mike Tyndall will go for the end zone as they officially roll it down at the 22-yard line. So it's going to be first down and I'll say first and 10, but barring a penalty, that's academic. So the Raiders essentially have one play to go, 28 yards to end the half.
Well, it was a nice idea, but again, the man he was pitching to had no idea that was about to take place. That's the reason he didn't catch the ball.
I think DeAndre might have had a better shot if he had just made a go for it, or take a knee and give your offense one more chance to make the end zone. So not necessarily a big fan of a lateral in that situation, but the Raiders having a little fun. Mike Tyndall operating out of the shotgun, 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. Tyndall, 5-step drop, looking to pass, under pressure, airs it out to the end zone to Johnny King. He's got it for a touchdown.
Touchdown, Johnny
Offensive
King.
pass interference, but if it does stand, it'd be a 28-yard touchdown to Johnny King. We'll wait and see the official call, but it looked like he pushed off.
He was down there. He grabbed him at the top of his jersey, pushed him down on the turf, and then caught the ball.
So
you
the
cannot
officials are
put
ready
your
to
hands
roll.
on the D-man, on the D-back.
And it is indeed pass interference on Johnny King.
But that was
the
so
officials
obvious.
say we're playing the down, though, even though it would be the end of the half otherwise.
But that was so obvious.
As it looks like that Coach Porter for Myrtle Beach is trying to argue that the half should be over. As Johnny King with a clear push-off.
Yeah, he grabbed him and slung him to the turf, not a push-off.
Yeah, I'm being very generous when I say it's a push-off. It was more just a flat-out tackle. So it's a 10-yard penalty, but it looks like they're going to let the River City Raiders run this final play.
Yeah, it seemed like
they only marked off 8 yards, so it's now at the 14. As the official then, at least there's somebody on the officiating crew who can, well, not really. So it's going to be at just shy of the 14-yard line. So it's going to need to be about 36.5 yards to get in the end zone.
And no time on the clock.
Tyndall in the shotgun, 5-step drop, looking to pass, airs it out to the far side. Chris Head, he got battle with it.
He got it.
With the football, touchdown.
Raiders!
6-yard touchdown. Mike Tyndall to Chris Head. The Raiders got the extra play, and they capitalized on it at the end of the first half. It is 40-16.
Well, when he went down the sideline, the defensive back was with him. He leaped. Both men had possession of the ball, but the offender came down with it. Watch this again. Both of them had possession of the ball. But when the defender fell, he didn't have the ball. The Raiders have scored again. 40-16. I love this.
So James Neal on for one more point after. Bernard Quinn, the up back. Keep an eye on him as well, just in case the Raiders want to run it in for 2. But Neal set to kick from his own, well, rather from the Myrtle Beach 10-yard line. Chris Head now the holder in place of DeJuan Bolden. Snap is back, ball is down, the kick is up. It's a low kick, and it is no good as he shaked it wide to the right. So we go into the half with the River City Raiders on top, 40-16. We'll take a break. Don Johnson and I will be back with the River City Raiders halftime show featuring the Solomon Report as well as Don's takes. And if you're wanting something to do here during halftime, let's put no run on the number of voices we hear from the man of a million voices. Don Johnson will be coming back with you at the half. River City Raiders on top of the Myrtle Beach Sharks, 40-16. You are listening to River City Raiders football on 590 The Fan, 105.7 HD2 FM, and InsideSTL.com.
You've been lied to by corrupt Washington politicians and Wall Street propaganda machine. Hi, I'm Inc. magazine best-selling author.
I just didn't want to say 4 minutes on the air.
My brand new book, Wealth Beyond Wall Street, because we all know another market crash could be right around the corner. After losing 35% in my IRA in the crash years ago, I said enough, and since then I discovered a way to grow money potentially double digits, reduce taxes dramatically, and also have my money protected when the next stock market crash hits. When the next market crash hits, you lose nothing. Call Wealth Beyond Wall Street now to get your free copy and talk with a specialist to discover this little-known strategy to get potential double-digit growth during good years and never lose when the next stock market crash hits, all while building a tax-advantaged retirement. Call 800-908-1616 to discover this asset that people like Walt Disney and JCPenney use to grow wealthy. Plus, get one of just 97 free books left. We even cover shipping and handling, no credit card required. Call 800-908-1616. That's 800-908-1616, 1-800-908-1616.
It's time for breakfast at Burger King.
Remember at Burger King, I got the free for 89-cent pancake deal?
Yeah.
I tried to take one.
But they're 89 cents.
Yeah.
You can spare one.
I understand, but you know what I said.
Well, you said respect the stack.
And did you?
No, because I like pancakes.
Respect that stack. Get 3 pancakes for just 89 cents. That's 3 fluffy golden pancakes for 89 cents now at Burger King. Here's another great breakfast deal. 2 croissant sandwiches for just $4. Only at Burger King. Limited time at participating Burger King restaurants.
Okay, Kevin, for the grand prize of $1 million. What color is the White House?
I know this.
5 seconds.
Oh, switching to Geico could save you a bunch of money on car insurance?
Okay. Judges? That's true, Kevin. They'll allow it. Congratulations. You're a winner.
Woo!
Geico, because saving 15% or more on car insurance is always a great answer.
If you know the value of good machines, then it's high time we got together. We're Bailey Industrial, builders of metal and woodworking equipment. Hard-working machines for hard-working people. We stand behind our equipment and make sure our equipment stands behind you. Offering you the after-sale support you need to keep your shop running smoothly, which means making sure you have what you need when you need it. Typically shipping within 72 hours or less. So whether you're a fabricator or manufacturer of metal or wood products, go to Bailey.com or call 920-MACHINE and we'll send you a catalog. That's right, friend, over 400 pages of what you love most, machines. So whatever you're looking to build or manufacture, do it with Bailey Industrial, the company you can trust to give you the equipment and service you can rely on. That's BAILEIGH, Bailey, because if it's worth doing right, it's only right to do it with Bailey. So call 920-MACHINE or go to Bailey.com now and pick up your free catalog.
Hey, Arnie Spanier here. As a sports fan, you have to have a lot of confidence in your team. That they'll call the right play, draft the right guy, hire the right coach, design the right logo. But when it comes to buying a car, how much confidence do you have that you're getting the right price? At TrueCar, they show you real price on actual inventory from a TrueCar certified dealer in your area. And these aren't just any dealers. TrueCar certified dealers are a network of car sellers committed to transparency that offer competitive prices and all-around better buying experience. You can even work directly with a TrueCar certified dealer to establish a fair price before you can even show up on the lot. Need more confidence? TrueCar customers, on average, save over $3,000 off MSRP off new car purchases. So when you're ready to buy a new car, even a used car, visit TrueCar to enjoy a more confident car buying experience. Learn more at TrueCar.com. That's TrueCar.com.
You're listening to American Indoor Football on 590 The Fan, home of your River City Raiders. Now back to the Family Arena with Todd Blackstock and Dave Solomon.
And welcome back to the St. Charles Family Arena, where the River City Raiders lead the Myrtle Beach Sharks 40-16 at the half. David Solomon with you. I've got Don Johnson, the man of a million voices, alongside me tonight, as Todd Blackstock, the voice of the Raiders, is on assignment. I'll have the Solomon Report in just a little bit as we update you on the scoring and the stats story of the first half. But Don, what did you like about the Raiders' performance in the first half?
Well, what I like about the performance is that they've shown a variety of plays. They have receivers that can go down. They have specialty teams, individuals that can catch the ball, advance it upfield. Also, they have a running back, but they've used very sparingly. He's shown that he can be a bruiser to pick up yards going upfield. He's got good hands. So there's a lot of positive going. But on the other side of that, if you look at some of the patchwork that needs to take place for the defense, with the 3 down linemen, they have to maintain their quickness, but they have to stay in their area. Because if you recall the touchdown by the quarterback for the Sharks, it was straight up the center of the field. Now the monster man or the nose tackle on defense for the Raiders, that was his area because he ran straight up the field. He's supposed to stay in his area and not allow someone to just run up the center of the field and score. He has to keep his area of concentration. Also with the defensive backs, what they have to do is realize when they go for an interception, they're not to sit there and wait for the ball to hit them in the hands like they're playing baseball and waiting for a ball to bounce in their hands. They have to see that ball coming and jump as high as they can, getting the ball and pulling it in. Because we've seen some missed opportunities. So those are some things you need to watch. On the offense, the receivers can catch the ball. They've shown that they can run their patterns and get wide open. And the quarterback, he has a quick release. So those are great advantages for the offense of the Raiders.
So the Raiders looking to keep it up in the second half as you just got some of the scribbles in Don Johnson's notebook. Brought to you by Authorized Elevator, a proud sponsor of River City Raiders football on 590 The Fan, as well as the Friday Night Sports Jam. For all your elevator needs, give Authorized Elevator a call at 429-7800. That's area code 314-429-7800 as we are moving on the River City Raiders halftime report. To recap the game, the Raiders actually started off giving up scores on two of the first plays of the game, as on the opening kickoff, Victor Leventritt, the kicker for Myrtle Beach, kicked it right through the uprights, making it 1-0 Myrtle Beach. Then on the next play, Mike Tyndall couldn't come up with a snap. Myrtle Beach did. At least they put pressure on Tyndall. He recovered the fumble, but he was still tackled in his own end zone for a safety that made it 3-0. Then the River City Raiders, they went on a nice little run with 27 unanswered points. Johnny King with a 22-yard touchdown from Mike Tyndall made it 7-3 Raiders. Then DeAndre Jackson with his first touchdown of the game, a 10-yard reception from Tyndall, made it 14-3. Then on one of the first plays in the second half, in the end zone, Anthony Burley took a desperation heave from Myrtle Beach quarterback Marlon Phoenix, and he caught it in the end zone. It just came right up to him. Good enough for an interception. And that made it 21-3 Raiders as James Neal converted on all three point-after attempts on the first three River City Raiders touchdowns. Then Johnny King with his second touchdown reception of the game, 14 yards from Mike Tyndall, and that brought up 27 unanswered points. The Raiders tried to pound it in with Big Bernard Quinn. Bernard, though, couldn't come up with the snap cleanly on the direct snap, so that made it 27-3 in the second quarter. Then Myrtle Beach finally was able to get some scoring on offense as Darrell Gooden with a 29-yard touchdown reception from Horton. The kick from Leventritt was good, and that made it 27-10. DeAndre Jackson struck again with a 24-yard, make that a 20-yard touchdown reception from Tyndall, made it 34-10. Marlon Horton with 9 seconds to go in the second quarter ran the ball from 4 yards out, but the point after failed. It was a bad snap. A bunch of guys tried to come up with the ball. It bounced between the Raiders and the Sharks and back to the Raiders and back to the Sharks, but in the end it was denied. So the Raiders got the ball back, and after a nice DeAndre Jackson kick return and an attempted lateral to Anthony Burley, the Raiders had the ball on the 22-yard line with 2 seconds remaining. Mike Tyndall aired it out to Johnny King. They connected, but it was ruled pass interference on the offense. The officials, instead of moving the ball back 10 yards, moved it back 8, and that was enough for Tyndall. They gave the Raiders one more play, and Tyndall connected with Chris Head on a 36-yard touchdown reception. The kick by James Neal failed, but the Raiders still lead 40-16. Another action earlier today at Busch Stadium, the Cardinals defeated the Cubs 5-3. Carlos Martinez getting the win for the Birds. And Carlos Martinez also had a couple of hits on the evening. He had a great squeeze play. Despite the Cubs having the infield pulled in, Martinez was able to execute on the bunt. The Cubs couldn't throw the ball to the catcher, Wilson Contreras. And then, because they had all 4 infielders charging, there was no one standing on second base. So Carlos Martinez, with some head-up base running, advanced to second base on the play as well. So Martinez, it was only ruled a single, but I'll go ahead and call it a bunt double. Martinez went 2 for 3 at the plate with an RBI, giving him 5 runs batted in on the week. Jed Jerko had a home run, his 7th of the season as well. Tommy Pham had a double and a pair of RBI. And Magneuris Sierra, the Cardinals speedster, went 2 for 3 with his first Major League RBI.
So Wano had the save, his 10th of the season. John Lester falls to 1-2 as Carlos Martinez now, after a slow start, improves his record to 3-3 as the Cardinals were victorious over the Cubs. Of course, they've got some great sports talk. We have it going for you here on 590 The Fan. I was listening to some of the great shows this past week. Heard Rick Ankiel chiming in, Alan Bennis as well. Of course, 590 The Fan, 105.7 HD2 FM and InsideSTL.com. Also your home of Derek Gould as well. And Jimmy the Cat Hayes, I should add, both on the morning after, and he'll occasionally call in as well. So we are at the half, 40-16, Raiders on top. When we come back, we'll have all the second half action. David Solomon alongside Don Johnson. You are listening to River City Raiders football on 590 The Fan, 105.7 HD2 FM, and InsideSTL.com.
Ladies and gentlemen,
hiring is the most challenging part of my job. It's really hard. The searching, the sorting through resumes. Most people don't have the right experience.
We started using ZipRecruiter about 3 months ago. Right from the start, you could tell it was going to make hiring a lot easier. One click and my job was posted to 100+ job boards, all the top sites.
All of the candidates came to my dashboard, and it's easy to compare them. Thumbs up if I liked them, thumbs down if I didn't. No emails and attachments, printing up docs, phone calls, none of that.
And I couldn't believe the number of great applicants we got. I had the person we needed within 1 week. I don't know how we
As you can probably tell with me doing the player of the game, with me doing the play-by-play, we won't have a post-game interview tonight.
Where your job is just one click away from 100+ jobs.
Because I don't think it'd be a good idea to play 4 minutes of spots to wait for me to get downstairs.
Now you can try ZipRecruiter free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio offer. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio offer. ZipRecruiter.com/radio offer.
Listen, this whole do-it-yourself thing is fine for some projects, but when it comes to window coverings, not so much.
Tell me about it. I did some do-it-yourself shades that are best described as uneven and twisted.
Yeah, I've seen them. That's why I'm going with budget blinds.
That's a style and service for every budget people, right?
Yeah, and that is for real. Budget blinds has no surprises pricing and a no questions asked warranty. The best in the business.
No surprises pricing and a no questions asked warranty.
No brainer, right?
So Budget Blinds comes in, measures everything, orders for you, then they install it all?
It's a beautiful thing. And now you can get up to $500 off on Signature Series window coverings.
Another no-brainer. Number, please.
855-BUDGET-BLINDS. Or go online to budgetblinds.com.
Call 855-BUDGET-BLINDS and get the experts to do it for you at a price that fits your budget.
Call 855-BUDGET-BLINDS now.
Offer good on selected products at participating independently owned and operated franchises only. Some restrictions may apply. Ask for details.
You're listening to Love Advice with Leanne. Caller, you're on the air.
Hi, Leanne. Long-time listener, first-time caller. Why, in your professional opinion, do you never take my calls off the air?
Is this Carl?
Yep, it's Carl. I mean, we had a few dates. Everything was great. I thought,
Well, you know, when you switch to Geico, you could save a lot of money on car insurance.
Okay, awesome.
You should call them.
I will.
Geico, because saving 15% or more on car insurance is always a great answer.
It's time for breakfast at Burger King.
Remember at Burger King, I got the 3 for 89-cent pancake deal?
Yeah.
I tried to take one.
But they're 89 cents.
Yeah.
You can spare one.
I understand, but you know what I said.
Well, you said respect the stack.
And did you?
No, because I like pancakes.
Respect that stack. Get 3 pancakes for just 89 cents. That's 3 fluffy golden pancakes for 89 cents now at Burger King. Here's another great breakfast deal. 2 croissant sandwiches for just $4. Only at Burger King. Limited time at participating Burger King restaurants.
1 minute. Hey, Arnie Spanier here. As a sports fan, you have to have a lot of confidence.
Ladies and gentlemen, your River City Raiders
right
fans
play,
team.
draft the right guy, hire the right coach, design the right logo. But when it comes to buying a car, how much confidence do you have that you're getting the right
Your
price?
attention, please,
At
ladies and
TrueCar,
gentlemen,
they
for the
show
protection
you
of the
real
players and
price on
fans.
actual
And in the
inventory
spirit of
from a
good
TrueCar
sportsmanship,
certified
the River
dealer in
City
your
Raiders
area.
request
And
that
these
you
aren't
refrain
just
from
any
throwing
dealers.
any object at
TrueCar
participants
certified
on the
dealers
playing
are a
field.
network of
Such
car
behavior
sellers
can
committed to
cause
transparency
serious
that
injury,
offer
and violators will
competitive
be ejected
prices
from the
and
arena
all
subject
around
to
better
arrest.
buying
Any
experience.
spectator goes
You
on
can
the
even
field
work
attempting
directly with a
play.
TrueCar
In any
certified
manner will be
dealer
ejected
to
and subject
establish
to
a
arrest.
fair price
We also
before you can
remind
even
you
show
that
up
you are
on the
playing
lot.
this game at
Need
your
more
own risk.
confidence?
Please be alert
TrueCar
and aware of
customers,
throwing
on
a quick
average,
football
save
flying
over
stand.
$3,000 off MSRP off new car purchases. So when you're ready to buy a new car, even a used car, visit TrueCar to enjoy a more confident car buying experience. Learn more at TrueCar.com.
Indoor Raiders Nation, are you ready for the second half
You're
of
listening
Raiders
to
football?
American Indoor
Let's
Football
make some
on
noise,
590
Family
The Fan,
Arena!
home of your River City Raiders. Now back to the Family Arena with Todd Blackstock and Dave Solomon.
And we are indeed back at the St. Charles Family Arena. I'm David Solomon. Don Johnson alongside tonight as the River City Raiders lead the Myrtle Beach Sharks 40-16. The players are warming up, getting ready for the second half. And Don, any early candidates for Paul Minio's player of the game?
Oh, I kind of like Mr. Alexander. If he gets another couple of scores, I think he will have his name in the ballot box.
Now, Theo Alexander, he's already gotten one of our Paul Minio's Player of the Game awards this season, but he's always a strong candidate. Johnny King, if for nothing else than his one-handed acrobatic catch and emphatic slam dunk, even with the unsportsmanlike penalty, he's another candidate on my board.
Well, I'll always have to give the quarterback a little credit because they couldn't catch it if he wasn't throwing it where it was supposed to be.
Exactly. Mike Tyndall, second. Can we do it? I'll have to check with Todd at a commercial break and see if the rules will allow us to have a repeat winner in back-to-back weeks.
Well, this is a team sport now. We just can't just look at one man. Like I said, the quarterback's throwing the ball. Sure, they're catching it. But you know, if the D-backs get so many interceptions, we have to look at that also. Now, have we had the linemen get any yet?
No, not this year. I think once in the past, I think we did give it to Big Bernard Quinn one year in the past. So we've represented almost every position. I know James Neal, I think, may have gotten it once this year, the kicker. So we have always given the Paul Minio's Player of the Game award honors to a diverse position group. I think the only time I haven't seen a player get it is the offensive line. I guess offensive linemen, for whatever reason, don't get any love.
Well, we have to be equal opportunities when we give these awards out. Because if I'm kicking his butt and stopping him from running, I don't want to be ignored.
I know. Well, if we see zero penetration on Mike Tyndall in the second half, we'll give it to the whole River City Raiders offensive line. You've heard it here first. 590 The Fan, 105.7 HD2 FM, and InsideSTL.com, your home of love for offensive linemen. We need to get the imaging people on that.
That's true. That's true. Now, what we need to look at is he going to mix the personnel up right now? Is he going to stay with the starters that he had? What would you do up 40-16? Would you let other players start playing now, or would you wait until the fourth quarter?
Well, I think you can't afford to lose it out, so I think you need to get some more work. Because remember, this is Mike Tyndall's second career professional game. And the thing is, the indoor game, when you play 8 guys each side, I know Gary Johnson sometimes goes 2 ways, you don't really have a lot of subs.
Well, this is the fourth quarterback that they have for the Raiders, right?
Yeah, I believe he's the fourth quarterback because we saw Kevis Hamilton start the season. Then we saw DeJuan Bolden taking turns. Gary Johnson actually spent some time at quarterback. And now Mike Tyndall solidified the position.
So maybe he needs a little bit more work with the first team.
DJ Prue throwing it back with a little bit of Nelly. It's getting hot in here. And if you're not at the game, you don't get to catch Don Johnson's awesome dance moves. Don's still in the show as we're still awaiting the start of the second half. DeJuan Bolden shaking hands with some fans seated just behind the 590 The Fan and Chuck's Boots ads along the dasher boards here along the Family Arena. Everyone's getting into it as each team's completing their warm-ups.
Kick it.
Cardinals today were the first team in the Central Division to reach 20 wins as they have a mark of 20-15 on the season. They are a game and a half ahead of the Cincinnati Reds, who are 3-run losers today at San Francisco. The Brewers also sit a game and a half back. They could move into within a game of the Cardinals with a victory tonight against the New York Mets.
What do you make of Cecil, the pitcher?
I'd say it's early. He's had his struggles. He's acclimating to a new league. I know you had interleague play. If his struggles continue for another month, I think it's cause for concern. But many times we've seen a pitcher either have an awesome first month and struggle. I remember at the end of Jason Instringhausen's St. Louis career, 2008, he was dominant for the first month of the season. Then injuries and ineffectiveness caught up to him.
Now, do you think Walker's playing at his level, or he's still got some things to work on?
Michael Walker?
Yeah.
I think he's been giving you about as much as you can expect. Now, the Cardinals are skipping him in this turn through the rotation, but they say nothing's wrong. This was their plan going in when they had a couple extra off days to skip his turn and give him a little more rest. Carlos Martinez didn't get the extra rest with the off day, as players are playing catch with balls, throwing them up in the stands, and one of them almost made it on the press level here at Family Arena.
If he had a strong arm, he would have made it.
Yeah. As we are indeed awaiting the start of the second half.
Well, I just hope the Raiders focus when it's time for the ball game to.
You know who we're waiting on, Don? We're waiting on the officials to come back out. Players are all ready to go, but I don't see the officials out anywhere on the field. Have you ever ref before? They might be calling us down from the booth.
I've done it once or twice.
Okay, that means you've got more experience than the rest of us. I say you're about to trade in your wardrobe for black and white.
Yeah, we're going to give you one of those shirts so you can go out there and see what it feels like. Somebody get up in your face and go, how can you make that call, man? Come on. I was being held.
Can you do play-by-play, Don?
I think I can if I'm
all right.
Pushed in that position.
All right, I think we got an answer. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and take a 2-minute break. We'll be back with the second half action as the River City Raiders lead the Myrtle Beach Sharks 40-16 on 590 The Fan, 105.7 HD2 FM, and InsideSTL.com.
You've been lied to by corrupt Washington politicians and the Wall Street propaganda machine. Hi, I'm Inc. Magazine best-selling author Brett Kitchen, and I want to give you a free copy of my brand new book, Wealth Beyond Wall Street, because we all know another market crash could be right around the corner.
After Matt, I don't know what's happening. I thought we were coming right back to start the second half, and I don't see the officials.
Double digits, reduce taxes dramatically, and also have my money protected.
I know.
In the next stock
That's why I threw the break, and
the next market crash
I put 2 minutes because I didn't want to get caught naked. But
now to get your free copy and talk with a specialist to discover this little-known strategy to get potential double-digit growth during good years.
I'm just curious, and I don't know if you know anything about this, but do you have any of the interviews from the 590 redo ready to go? Because if we'll kill another segment, but if it gets much longer, I'm going to probably
free books left. We even cover shipping.
Well, you know what I'll do?
Credit card
I'm going to forward you Mike Matheny's press conference.
That's 800-908.
If we have to kill time, we're going to play raw audio. I hate doing that, but
it's time for breakfast at Burger King.
Remember at Burger King, I got the 3 for 89-cent pancake deal?
Yeah.
Tried to take one.
But they're 89 cents.
Yeah.
You can spare one.
I understand, but you know what I said.
Well, you said respect the stack.
And did you?
No, because I like pancakes.
Respect that stack. Get 3 pancakes for just 89 cents. That's 3 fluffy golden pancakes for 89 cents.
Hey, I'm going to email it to you. Text me when you're ready in case I didn't have it up so I know to throw to it if needed.
Limited time at participating Burger King restaurants.
Okay, Kevin, for the grand prize of $1 million. What color is the White House?
I know this.
I have more spots I can play if you want me to add time.
5 seconds.
Oh,
and we'll take it back.
Switching to Geico could save you a bunch of money on car insurance.
Officials get paid for this game, or
Judges?
What?
Did they pay the officials for this game?
I don't know what's going on.
I'm trying to wait to see if they check
If you want to go down and check, I can carry it from here.
Is always a great answer.
You're listening to American Indoor Football on 590 The Fan, home of your River City Raiders. Now back to the Family Arena with Todd Blackstock and Dave Solomon.
David Solomon, Don Johnson with you from the Family Arena where the River City Raiders lead the Myrtle Beach Sharks 40-16. The fans are having a great time. The River City Raiders and Myrtle Beach Sharks players are all on the field. Don Johnson is sitting right next to me, to my right. I'm here in the Chuck's broadcast booth. We've got DJ Prue playing the hits. What we do not have are officials on the field. That's right. The officials have yet to emerge for the second half. I have never seen a delay like this, Don.
Well, I hope there's not any type of emergency where one of the officials had some misfortune take place that we're unaware of.
Yes, by all means, we hope that everything is well with them. If we get any information on the delay, we will definitely bring it to you as soon as we get it. But on 590 The Fan, some great sports talk, as I've been listening a lot to the new lineup, and if you aren't familiar with our lineup here on 590 The Fan, 105.7 HD2 FM, I had a chance to listen in HD, by the way, crystal clear. So if you get a car with an HD radio or you have one at home, it's FM crystal clarity on the HD2. So if you have a car with that, I highly recommend listening there. But if not, 590 is a strong signal as well. But a great lineup, starting with St. Louis game time, 5 to 7. Some good hockey talk there during the week. They're on Monday through Thursday. And then you have the Mole Hole on Friday mornings with Randy Molman. Then 7 to 10, the Ryan Kelly morning after. Jimmy the Cat Hayes, Doug Vaughn, Tim McKernan. You're hard-pressed to find a better mix of hard-hitting sports talk and just good old fun and commentary on anything and everything, although I'm still debating on whether Dotem should be freed or not. Then 10 o'clock, you have one of the longest-standing shows in St. Louis sports radio, the Hollywood Casino Press Box with Frank Cusimano. He has some great interviews and always a good listen, whether it be the newsmakers, whether it authors, you name it. I find that if I tune into the press box, it is hard to tune away. Then at noon, you've got the midday grind with Charlie Marlowe and Martin Kilcoyne of Fox 2. I heard they had Joe Buck on the other day. They're talking about the new series he's on. Great interview there. And then the hard line, 3 to 6. You have Eric Messersmith leading Matt Whitener, Hannah Yates, and then former Blues enforcer Cam Jansen, former Mizzou wide receiver TJ Moe as well. So the hard line, finally the answer is something good to listen to on the way home from work, or if you're heading down to the ball game. I like hearing Cam and TJ's insight. Hannah has some great points of view as well. Matt Whitener, great job on the baseball analysis. So the hard line, a great listen. And then you have Team 590 with Matt Berger and company, 6 to 8.
I got some questions.
Yes.
What part does this radio station have with keeping us informed of what's happening on the high school level? I mean, we could cover the pros, and yeah, everybody's.
That remains to be seen, and we might cover that some on the Friday Night Sports Jam coming soon to a new time. We'll have that announcement here probably in a couple weeks. But that remains to be seen. But 590 The Fan switching everything up, so we'll wait and be seen. Actually, Frank Cusimano does a good job on the press box. I heard Earl Austin Jr. a little while back covering the high school scene, recruiting from the hoop scene as well.
Well, the only reason I brought that up, you know, a lot of people can cover the national sports scene, but again, here in St. Louis, we got some people that, hey, they're doing some great things here, and sometimes we see them go to major universities and just get out of St. Louis, but still make us proud that they came from St. Louis and what they're doing here. And sometimes the high school kids just need a pat on the back for doing what they're doing, and we see them in the future, and what do? They always come back home, and they want to talk to us and want to be part of the St. Louis community, even though they've graduated here and they've gone other places. So in that situation, I'm just, you know, I kind of favor the high school crowd because sometimes they get ignored because the major professionals get all the attention, it seems like. And then the high school kids, they're doing some things because once they break it big, then we want to talk to them. I think we need to talk to them before then.
As how some of the players for the Myrtle Beach Sharks are still tossing the football around with the fans as we are waiting the emergence of the officials for the second half. One just came in front of our broadcast booth here on the mezzanine level of the St. Charles Family Arena.
That's the football, not the official.
Yeah, the football's being tossed. They're not tossing the officials around.
Maybe they went on strike. What do you think?
I don't know what's going on.
In the locker room, hell no, we won't go.
That would be very interesting, as I've been checking my cell phone, Don. I've been checking yours, and I have not gotten one message saying that we need to run down, stop the broadcast, go put on our wireless mics, and officiate while we call the game.
I'm giving them 2 more minutes.
Well, I'm willing to give them a little more time, and I'm sure we'll have an exciting second half for you. But what we're going to do is we're going to switch gears a little bit, and we're going to do some breaking down of the Cardinals game. We'll be back in 2 minutes as the officials come back sooner. So you are listening to River City Raiders football on 590 The Fan, 105.7 HD2 FM, and InsideSTL.com.
Today, there are over 47 million Ford vehicles on the road, rolling on over 188 million tires. That's a lot of rubber to trust to anyone other than the hardworking specialist at Ford Service. No one knows your Ford better than Ford and Ford Service.
Get a $140 rebate by mail on 4 select tires when you use the Ford Service credit card at the Big Tire event. Subject to credit approval, rebate by prepaid debit card. Other tire manufacturer rebate or offer cannot be combined with Ford Service credit card rebate or offer. See your participating Ford dealer for details through 6/30/17.
Oscar Mayer's making big changes, and hot dogs will never be the same again. We went back to the drawing board and the cutting board until we had a line of the world's best hot dogs. We got rid of the artificial preservatives in all of our meat and waved goodbye to byproducts in every single hot dog for every single one of you. And right now, the Wienermobile is driving across America to put a hot dog in every hand. Oscar Mayer, for the love of hot dogs.
Hi, my name's Tim Forehand. I'm a deputy sheriff. In my job, keeping in shape is important. I've tried other products to get my weight down, but nothing has worked like Andrew 400. In just 3 months, I've dropped 51 pounds, down from 230 to 179. Plus, the weight come off in the stomach area. I've gone from a snug 36-inch waist to a 32-inch waist, which I was in high school. I highly recommend the Andrew 400 to all my friends.
Guys, are you frustrated because no matter how hard you try, it seems impossible to lose stubborn belly fat? Then discover why thousands of men each month rely on Andro 400. Lose belly fat, gain energy and confidence, and feel great about yourself.
All right,
Andro
you have
400
Matheny ready?
is safe, effective,
It's not ready,
and
it's
inexpensive
downloading,
way
it'll be
to
ready
boost
soon.
your
All right,
testosterone.
just let me know.
Go to andro400.com or call 888-400-0435.
You're listening to American Indoor Football on 590 The Fan, home of your River City Raiders. Now back to the Family Arena with Todd Blackstock and Dave Solomon.
And welcome back to the Family Arena. David Solomon, Don Johnson, 40-16. River City Raiders on top of the Myrtle Beach Sharks as we are in an official delay at the Family Arena. That's right, a delay as in we have yet to see the officials emerge for the second half. We'll have more information on that as soon as we can bring it to you. But the St. Louis Cardinals were victorious today over the Chicago Cubs. Cardinals now improved to 20-15 with the 5-3 victory. Carlos Martinez got the win, and he also was 2 for 3 at the plate with an RBI. Jed Jerko blasted a home run, his 7th of the season, and Magneuris Sierra got his first career Major League run batted in. So, in just a little bit, we're going to hear from the Cardinals skipper, Mike Matheny, as he had his post-game remarks today after the Cardinals game, live from Busch Stadium. As Mike Matheny weighed in on Carlos Martinez, Sierra, and just the overall team performance against the Chicago Cubs. So as our great helper doing Yo Man's work back in the studio, Matt Davis gets the final touches on that. We'll have the skipper's words for you here on 590 The Fan, 105.7 HD2 FM, and InsideSTL.com as the players are throwing the football around with fans, each other, anyone. So now let's hear from the Cardinals skipper, Mike Matheny, with his post-game press conference.
We're going to run when we feel we have opportunities to run, regardless of who it is, and it's always going to look different how you feel like you're going to have your best chance. And love how the guys did their research. They had their idea of what they wanted to do when they got out there, and then tried to put it into motion when we gave them the freedom to do so. I thought it helped us today.
Something happens, just don't worry.
Yeah, I do think so. I think both of them have that component of speed that it'll disrupt a team. I mean, you just see different defensive plays. You see sometimes different pitches to the guys who are in the box when they're on the base. I mean, that sort of stuff, it subtly makes a big difference. And we just got to keep them aggressive and get them on base.
He's a guy who has
Listen to 590 The Fan. We'll be back in just a moment.
Yeah, to me, he's just an interesting case in the fact that I truly believe it's a vision thing, and he's constantly working with whatever he has to do to help him see the ball, and when he does, he puts things together and puts some great at-bats together. And yeah, it's nice to see that whatever he had to do to make that adjustment. We talk about adjustments all the time, where you're talking maybe what your hand position is or your timing for getting your load. Adjustments for him are a lot of times what he does to help him see the ball. Sounds simple enough, but can be very complex. But I thought he made a great adjustment, whatever he did today, and he continues to have an impact around here, and he's an exciting player to watch.
Bigness just doesn't hit Sierra, or is he one of those guys who's able to embrace it?
Yeah, he's unflappable. I mean, I really do think so. I mean, he's going to be tested. I mean, the longer you're here, the more the league's going to think they're figuring you out, and he's just going to have to be able to make the adjustments and stay ahead. But he's got a simple approach and a simple concept of what he wants to do. You see how aggressive he's going after balls. I think that's great. How he plays defensively, and he's always looking for that base on the bases. And nice to have a player like that. And he's got a whole lot more in there, whether it's power, grinding out at bats. He's got a lot to learn, but he's conscientious and he wants to learn, and he seems to have the capacity to take in the things the guys are teaching him and talking about each pitcher before they get up there. He's got an idea, but just a great kid to have around right now. Yeah, he's good. And found his, secondary pitches, and he had a little more life on his fastball. And, I think Rosie being able to do what he's doing to hand the ball off and keep things where they are, that's huge as well. And I think they're pretty powerful twosome right now.
I can't hear him.
It's just when you get O in those situations, he's going to find a way to get it done when he doesn't have his best stuff, and that's what we saw, I think, early on, and now his stuff's coming along.
Hey.
Hey.
Yeah, it's a run, and two guys on, maybe just one, but it's a game changing. That's a tough play too, because the shortstop, and he did come up to make the throw, I think, which was the argument. I think it was widely thought that you have to throw it, but the guy's getting hammered. He's not going to be able to throw the ball.
All right, refs have come back.
As you looked at it again, I mean, that was everything that they've talked about. They've tried to eliminate from the game, with going through the bag like almost a barrel roll. But fortunately, nobody was hurt.
Hey, Matt, the refs are back.
That call definitely.
Okay, you want me to go to a quick 30-second spot and then come back?
No, just I'll let you know when to bring it back to me. You can just fade it out when it's time.
Showed us quite a few.
Okay, we're coming up on 2 minutes left in it.
What the rules were. You got to be able to maintain contact with the base, and depends on where you start your slide. And I mean, there's a few where no matter how far you go, you got to still be in reach of it. I mean, there are a few things that were very clear. You need to stay on the back. Yeah. Well, I think the confusion was whether or not, because we're always trying to teach you guys throw it anyhow, but that's kind of counterintuitive when you know that there's no play to go ahead and throw it at the risk of advancing the other runner. But he came through with his arm like he was trying to, and then at the last minute realized he couldn't because he was getting hit. No. I mean, we've only had a couple issues with it. We had one that was real close with Dex earlier in the year.
Raider Nation, are you ready for the second half?
Okay, fade out after this response.
Just going and wiping out people at second base has kind of been taken out of the game from lower levels, so it's less of an adjustment for the guys now.
All right, and that's the Cards manager, Mike Matheny, following their 5-3 win against the Chicago Cubs at Busch Stadium. The Cards and the Cubs will go at it in the series finale tomorrow at 1:15 as the officials have finally returned to the field. So we will be with you here to start the second half Don Johnson alongside me, David Solomon, here at the St. Charles Family Arena. So, Don, how do you think the players stay focused during a delay like that?
Well, in that situation, what you have to do is keep warm. Make sure you're loose because muscles can tighten up. And in that situation, once you try to put the pedal to the metal, you can come up pulling the muscle. So they need to make sure that they're stretched out and they're ready because that was an extended delay. And what you'd like to do is go in the locker room, say what you're going to say, come back out, be ready to mentally prepare for the second half, but also make sure that you've done some stretching. Because again, this isn't artificial turf. But even if you're playing on grass, your body has to be stretched out in order for you to put it to its extremes down on that field.
So the River City Raiders, they received to start the game as the Myrtle Beach Sharks deferred the opening kickoff. So Myrtle Beach is set to receive to start the second half. James Neal kicking as the Raiders go from right to left as he kicks it deep. And it's out of the back of the end zone into the stands for a touchback. It looks like it'll be 1st and 10 for the Myrtle Beach Sharks on their own 20-yard line as we are officially underway in the second half.
Well, we're going to see what's going to take place now that the Sharks have the ball. Can they make any changes to start the second half, seeing that they're trailing 40-16?
First down, Myrtle Beach Freedom.
1st and 10 for Myrtle Beach on the 20-yard line. The officials are back, the players are back, and so are we. David Solomon, Don Johnson, finally with the call.
Let's hear you, Raider fans.
So you have the Myrtle Beach Sharks under center. 3 receivers, 1 on the near side, 2 on the far side. Henry the man in motion, and here's the opening pass, and it is thrown just short of
to
Jared
number 11.
Harris. As there's a change at quarterback, it looks like, for Myrtle Beach.
2nd down.
Charles Sweeney into the game at
Myrtle
quarterback.
Well, the time you had Brian Quinn, number 90, he's the interior lineman. He jumped up to really kind of block the vision of the quarterback. He threw it, and the pass was a disconnect downfield for his receiver.
So that'll be 2nd down and 10 now from the 20, 14:04 to go. Again, Charles Sweeney, the new quarterback for Myrtle Beach. Henry, the man in motion. Pass to the near sideline, and it was bouncing way short of the receiver, Daryl Goodwin. Incomplete. 3rd down and 10 now.
Myrtle Beach Freedom Sharks.
Well, the good thing is the interior line for the Raiders, they're pursuing this young quarterback. He doesn't have a lot of time to throw the ball. And seeing they helped him get up off his back, I think they made their point very clear what they intend to do.
So now it is 3rd down and 10 from the 20. Sweeney, Charles Sweeney, the new quarterback, operating the shotgun. 3-step drop, pump fake, throws to the far sideline. Theo Alexander on the coverage, and he throws.
Incomplete.
Theo Gooden, the receiver, to the turf, but he waited till the ball arrived, so it's an incomplete pass.
Let me hear you make some noise,
4th down and 10 from the 20.
I'll tell you on that play, number 10, Mr.
Come on,
Alexander,
you can do better than that. It's
he's
4th
got to know
down,
where the
we
ball
need
is,
you.
because he was watching the receiver. Receiver was seeing it as it just went over the top of his head, and he just turned around in time.
He got lucky there.
Exactly. If the receiver had concentrated on the catch, that would have been a score.
Fourth down and 10 for Myrtle Beach, trailing 40-16, 12:33 to go here in the 3rd quarter. David Solomon, Don Johnson with you. Man in motion is Jared Harris. Sweeney takes the high snap, throws to the middle of the field, and it is intended for Daryl Gooden, and it is broken up. Deion Morrison on the breakup. So is Chris Williams, and Williams is a little shaken up as he is down on the field, but the River City Raiders will take over on downs. And we're going to go ahead and take a timeout. We'll be back in a minute. You're listening to Raiders Football on 590 The Fan, 105.7 HD2 FM, and InsideSTL.com.
Hiring is the most challenging part of my job. It's really hard.
All right, he got up
sorting
pretty
through
fast,
resumes.
so
most people don't
be
have
ready
more
to jump out if we need to.
We started using ZipRecruiter.
Is this a
about
minute
3
spot or a
months
30?
ago. Right from the start, you could tell it was going to make hiring a lot easier.
How long is this spot?
And my
Oh,
job was
crap.
posted to 100+ job
Yeah,
boards.
he wasn't moving there for a while.
All of the candidates came to my dashboard, and it's easy to compare them. Thumbs up if I liked them, thumbs down if I didn't. No emails and attachments, printing up docs, phone calls, none of that.
And I couldn't believe the number of great applicants we got. I had the person we needed within 1 week. I don't know how we hired before ZipRecruiter.
Whether you're looking to fill one position or 20, find the best candidates with ZipRecruiter, where your job is just one click away from 100+ job sites.
Kill the rejoin when you come back.
The fastest way to hire.
I'll take it cold.
Right now, you can try ZipRecruiter free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio offer. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio offer. ZipRecruiter.com/radio offer.
Listen, this whole do-it-yourself tales.
And Mike Tyndall with the first play of the game under center. Takes the snap, throws down to the near sideline, and it is picked off. Intercepted by Antoine Steele. He advances up to the 5, to the 10, to the 15-yard line before he's taken down to the 17. And now Myrtle Beach gets a fresh set of downs.
Everybody.
They lost about 3 yards from where they had the ball before. It is now 1st and 10 for Myrtle Beach on their own 17-yard line. 11:34 to go and counting as Mike Tyndall threw his first interception on the evening.
Well, in that situation, he's got to concentrate because the man was wide open and he was all alone.
So it's now 1st and 10. Charles Sweeney remains in the game at quarterback for Myrtle Beach. 2 receivers on the far side. The receiver motioning to the near side is Simon Phoenix. Sweeney looking to pass. Long 3/4 bullet right down the middle. Caught by Jared Harris. He doesn't really get much, if any, gain.
Second down.
As Johnny King now playing both ways, coming up with a tackle on that play. They're going to roll forward progress actually to the 21-yard line. Gain of 3 on the play. 2nd down and 7 now from the 21.
Well, Mr. Williams, who was out for a while and was down on the field, he's back on the field with the defense for the Raiders. So that's a good sign.
Very good for River City. 2nd down and 7 from the 21-yard line. Jared Harris is now the man in motion. He motions over to the far side, now motioning vertically. Sweeney looking to pass, airs it out down the far sideline. It's a one-on-one battle between Gooden and Brian Lowry. They're still fighting for the ball.
Ball's on the ground.
Still fighting, waiting for the word from the officials. Still waiting to see who came down with it.
No. Did they give it to him?
And they roll that it is a completion. Ooh, that's a tough break for the River City Raiders.
Well, Lowry came down with it like he had.
Daryl Gooden and Brian Lowry. I thought Lowry emerged with it. Gary Johnson pleading his case along with Theo Alexander.
Daryl Gooden from Northwest University.
But in the end, it's going to be a catch for Daryl Gooden.
Well, you kind of wonder whether
38-yard catch.
Kind of wonder whether they
First
just
down,
give the ball
Sharks.
to the offensive player.
On the 1.
Because that was anybody's
They're
ball
cheering
and he
for the
snatched it out of his
defense.
hands.
So 1st and goal on the 1. Myrtle Beach tries a quarterback sneak. Sweeney is stuffed by the big Raiders defensive line. A total effort by the line. Kevin Adams in on the tackle for River City.
No particular place to go.
Yep, no particular place to go.
They stuffed that center, and
Not
there
when
was
you
no
run into
place to
Kevin
go.
Adams and Keenan Mace. Bernard Quinn rounding out the defensive line, playing nose tackle as well.
The nose tackle was at home, and he was not answering the door.
So it's now 2nd down and goal on the 1.
See if they can prevent them from scoring. Starting the second half.
So Charles Sweeney now back operating in the shotgun. You have the up back, Cody Aspenleider.
I look for a cross.
2 receivers on the far side, 1 on the near side. Expect a quick pass here. Sweeney looking to pass, and it is batted down at the line of scrimmage by big Kevin Adams. Incomplete.
The Adams family. He was at the
Incomplete pass. 3rd down and 1. Let me hear you, Stadium. touchdown, number 2 with the Sharks. That makes the score Raiders 40, Sharks 22 before the extra point. Extra point is good. Raiders still lead 40-23.
There are lots of ways to spend your money. Some things you just want to buy. Other things you have to. We know no one wants to spend the money to replace their roof. When you have to, call Ferguson Roofing. With dedicated employees, the highest standards, and a 15-year workmanship warranty for quality service long after the sale. When you have to have a new roof, call the company that stands behind its work. Ferguson Roofing, proudly serving St. Louis and St. Charles counties for over 65 years. Call us or visit our website.
Uh-oh! He took it to the house! That's a touchdown, Raiders! DeAndre Jackson!
After the play, unsportsmanlike, River City will be enforced on the next possession. Touchdown's good.
Touchdown is good. Raiders 46, Sharks 23. That's the way you answer right there, boys.
Offside 94 on the defense, half the distance to the goal line, retry.
Extra point is good. 47 Raiders, 23 Sharks. Raiders fans, please join us after the game for a post-game autograph session 5 minutes after the game. Also, we're having a jersey auction tonight, so don't forget about that. What do you say, Raiders fans? You guys having a good time tonight?
Let's get it on.
Hey, it's finally powering back up. So be ready to get back as soon as I connect. All right.
First down, Sharks at the 14-yard line.
And I want to give you a free copy of my book.
All right, I'm back. Get me back.
Because we all know another market crash could be right around the corner.
You're listening to American Indoor Football on 590 The Fan, home of your River City Raiders. Now back to the family arena with Todd Blackstock and Dave Solomon.
We're back. It is now 47-23 River City Raiders, 5:15 to go in quarter number 3. Right after that touchdown for the Myrtle Beach, Darrell Gooden with the 2-yard strike. DeAndre Jackson took the kickoff and returned it 58 yards to the house. So now Charles Sweeney operating in the shotgun. Under heavy pressure, rolling to his right. Looks for a receiver on the near sideline, and it goes in and out of the hands of Gooden. Incomplete.
Flag on the
in on the coverage, and there's a flag down on the
Pass
play.
incomplete.
Well, in that situation, Laurie had the receiver covered, and we threw the ball. It was a short pass. He was right there to deflect it and knock it away.
Unsportsmanlike conduct,
And
number
there's a penalty
78.
on the play. That flag was for unsportsmanlike conduct on big offensive lineman Cody Bunch. So that's going to push it back away. So it is now second down and 20 to go on the 14-yard line.
If he starts dishing it out like that, he can expect it back.
So Myrtle Beach breaks the huddle. 2 receivers to the far side. Man in motion also on the far side is Jared Harris. Charles Sweeney took over at quarterback in the second half. He's operating in the shotgun. Low snap. Sweeney trying to pounce on it. And it's River City Raiders recovering in the end zone. Touchdown! Kevin Adams pounces on that fumble. And it is now 53-23, 4:07 to go here in the third quarter.
The Adams family, he did it. He was pursuing it, saw the quarterback missed it. He jumped over the top up, and with those long arms, he scooped it in.
So there have been quarterback-center exchange problems on both sides, but especially for Myrtle Beach.
But now for the Raiders, they're over the nifty 50 mark.
James Neal on to kick the point after. He's been almost money this season with the narrow uprights in the indoor game. DeJuan Bolden back as the holder. Snap is back, ball is down, the kick is up. It's good.
James Neal with the extra point.
Neal
It's
converts,
good.
54-23
That put
Raiders.
the Raiders up
3:20 to go here in the third quarter.
54-23, ladies and gentlemen. With that touchdown, you all just won $5 off an extra large
If you have them,
pizza
but keep in mind, with 21-man rosters, as the fans here are now getting discounted pizza for the Raiders going over 50, but you only have so many reserves that you can even suit up if you want to.
Well, you want to keep everybody's head in the game.
But I think you already see Chief does a good job of getting all the wide receivers involved. And maybe you put Deion Morris a little at running back or something, but there just aren't that many reserves who aren't already getting subbed in.
Well, what about the running backs? I heard you mention them slightly.
Well, maybe we could see what Big Keenan Miller can do a little more.
Let him rumble.
Yeah.
I just don't want the Raiders to let up.
Not at all. So to recap the scoring action in the third quarter, there's no score though just about the midway point when Bill Gooden caught a 2-yard pass from Charles Sweeney. That made it 40-23, cutting the River City lead to 17 as the kick failed on that one. DeAndre Jackson then followed up with a 58-yard kick return. Then Kevin Adams' recovery of the Charles Sweeney fumble on the bad snap. That led us to where we stand now at 54-23. David Solomon with you alongside Don Johnson on 590 The Fan, 105.7 HD2 FM and InsideSTL.com as James Neal now kicking off from the near hash marks on his own goal line as the Raiders are going from right to left across your radio dial. James Neal boots it high, end-over-end kick. This one is fielded in the end zone by Antoine Steele. Steele at the 10, running on the far side. 15 to the 20, finally taken down by Keenan Miller at the 23-yard line.
Return.
A return
up to
of
the
about
23-yard line.
28 yards on the play.
For the Myrtle Beach Sharks.
At midfield. So we got to see what the defense is going to do again for the Raiders, whether they can get the ball back and score.
The DJ Prue keeping the crowd entertained here as we have the lengthy delay at halftime. Back with the Raiders up 54-23 with 2:40 to go and counting here in the third quarter. Charles Sweeney remains in at quarterback for Myrtle Beach. He came in to start the second half. Staying with the same 3 wide receivers, Daryl Gooden, Simon Phoenix, and Jared Harris. Harris the man in motion. Sweeney, high snap, comes down with it, throws to the near sideline. He connects with Gooden complete at midfield, but Gooden can't break away from Theo Alexander, so it's a gain of about 2, maybe 3 on the play. Yes, they're going to rule that a gain of 3. Second down and 7 from the Raiders' 24.
Northwood
but he was almost stripped.
Ball on the 26-yard line.
Got to tighten up his
or the 24.
Yeah, definitely.
His pants, because he almost lost him after that catch and was hit.
Yes, we can't have any of that here as we have a family entertainment and a family broadcast.
Thank you.
So it's second down and 7 from the Raiders' 24. 3 receivers all on the far side. Now the running back in the up position, Cody Aspenleider. Now Jared Harris motions over to the near side. But before the ball is snapped, we have yet another false start, it looks like.
Yeah, that time they got the defensive line for the Raiders used to hearing the snap count.
Yeah, so that one actually going against the Raiders. So the Raiders were ruled for encroachment.
Adam was the one that they caught sleeping on that one.
5-yard penalty brings it up to the River City Raiders 19.
He's a nose man.
It looks like it's second down and a short 2. We'll go ahead and call it second down and 1 from the 19. Three receivers all on the near side until Harris motions over. Low snap. Again, Sweeney recovers at his own 18-yard line under pressure, and down he goes. Sacked by 3 Raiders. Kevin Adams in on the sack.
Adams got in on that.
For
Anthony
a big
Burley
loss.
in on it as well. It looks like there was at least one more Raider on the play. That was big Dion Morris, who can do a little bit of everything as well. I remember Dion Morris even kicked in a game last season.
Yep, Morris was there. It was 3, but it wasn't the Stooges. They were the Raiders.
Exactly.
And they were hungry for the QB snack.
You bet. So credit to the sack. I guess you can only give it to 2, but 3 Raiders in on that sack.
Was that a sack or a snack?
It was both. That's what defensive linemen snack on as opposing quarterbacks. Now another low snap to Sweeney. And Gurley is in on it. Anthony Burley taps him down, and this one goes all the way back to the 5-yard line. So
if the Sharks keep this up, one of the D linemen are going to score. I can feel it.
We are at the end of the third quarter. River City Raiders on top, 54-23. We'll be back in 2 minutes on 590 The Fan, 105.7 HD2 FM, and InsideSTL.com.
You've been lied to. Lied to by corrupt Washington politicians and the Wall Street propaganda machine. Hi, I'm Inc. Magazine best-selling author Brett Kitchen, and I want to give you a free copy of my brand new book, Wealth Beyond Wall Street, because we all know another market crash could be right around the corner. After losing 35% in my IRA in the crash years ago, I said enough, and since then I discovered a way to grow money potentially double digits, reduce taxes dramatically, and also have my money protected when the next stock market crash hits. When the next market crash hits, you lose nothing. Call Wealth Beyond Wall Street now to get your free copy and talk with a specialist to discover this little-known strategy to get potential double-digit growth during good years and never lose when the next stock market crash hits, all while building a tax-advantaged retirement. Call 800-908-1616 to discover this asset that people like Walt Disney and J.C. Penney use to grow wealthy. Plus, get one of just 97 free books left. We even cover shipping and handling, no credit card required. Call 800-908-1616. That's 800-908-1616. 1-800-908-1616.
It's time for breakfast at Burger King.
Remember at Burger King I got the free for 89-cent pancake deal?
Yeah.
I tried to take one.
But they're 89 cents.
Yeah.
You can spare one.
I understand, but you know what I said.
Well, you said respect the stack.
Bring us back after this.
No, because I like pancakes. Respect that stack.
No
Get
rejoin.
free pancakes for just 89 cents. That's 3 fluffy golden pancakes for 89 cents now at Burger King. Here's another great breakfast deal. 2 croissant sandwiches for just $4. Only at Burger King. Limited time at participating Burger King restaurants.
4th down and 27 for the River City Raiders on defense. Myrtle Beach quarterback Charles Sweeney going back to pass. Low snap again under pressure. He throws to the middle of the field, and it is bounced once, twice on the turf, incomplete. Closest player to the play was Theo Alexander as the Raiders take over on downs at the Myrtle Beach 5-yard line.
Yeah, it seems like he was trying to sell the official that he caught that before it bounced in his hands.
You can always try to sell it, but these officials not buying it. As we have 14:30 to go and counting in quarter number 4, David Solomon, Don Johnson with you. River City Raiders football on 590 The Fan. As the Raiders start off, 1st and goal on their own 5-yard line. Mike Tyndall still in the game, operating out of the shotgun. DeAndre Jackson and Johnny King, the wide receivers on the far side. DeJuan Bolden, the wide receiver on the near side. Keenan Miller is the fullback. Now Bolden motioning over to the far side. He will be the vertical man in motion as well. High snap. Tyndall comes down with it, trying to bootleg to the near side, and he gets pushed into the boards. That counts as a sack in this league. Charles Hackman with the sack for Myrtle Beach. Loss of about 2 or 3 on the play. Could have been much worse with that snap, though. 2.5 officially, so we'll go ahead and call it a loss of 2.
Well, the man
2nd down and goal on the 7.
The man in motion, and that number 18, Bolden, he went straight ahead to the defender and tried to run him over. It's not what you expected of man. You expected him to catch a pass, but he wanted to run over him. That's all he had in mind.
Going for the jugular.
Yeah, he's a big receiver, so he can dish it out.
3 receivers all on the far side for the Raiders. DeAndre Jackson will be the vertical man in motion as he now motions over to the near side. Mike Tyndall in the shotgun. Quick little pitch out over to the fullback, Keenan Miller. Miller to the 5, 4, 3, 2, and he gets pushed into the boards inside the 2, just short of the end zone.
Yes, he was a step away. Must be on the 2-yard line that they marked it out, or the 1.
So we're waiting to see the official spot, and the officials put the ball at the 2, so it's a 5-yard gain for Keenan Miller. As you predicted, Don, Keenan finally getting a chance to show off his wheels.
He's got him knocking on the door. Can they get into the 60s with this next play?
A touchdown would do that as the Raiders lead 54-23. DeJuan Bolden, the lone receiver on the near side. DeAndre Jackson out wide to the far side. Johnny King will be the man in motion. He's in the far slot. Keenan Miller, the lone fullback. Tyndall in the shotgun. Gets the snap. Hands off to Miller. Going up the middle. Touchdown, Raiders. Big Keenan Miller from 2 yards out. Raiders on top, 60-23.
Touchdown, number 6,
to go in
Keenan
quarter number 4.
He got it rumbling and stumbling, staying low. He crossed it on the right-hand side and got the score. That's what I've been looking for.
There you go.
The man is hungry. Feed him.
We have not had a better wordsmith on this broadcast than Don Johnson. Don, we've loved having you for these couple of games this year, and you seem to be good luck for the Raiders as well.
Well, it's been a pleasure. I love being with you guys. This is an excitement that I long for.
It's exciting for everyone here in attendance at Family Arena as James Neal on to kick the point after. DeJuan Bolden, the holder. Bernard Quinn, the up man. Snap to Bolden. Ball is up. And it is good as he just got it inside the near upright. James Neal converts again on the point after and it is now 61-23. 11:15 to go and counting here in quarter number 4.
Can we make 70 now? I'm hungry.
I know.
Extra point is good. Raiders 61, Sharks 23.
The voice of the Raiders, I say that we're going to name ourselves Paul Munoz players of the game or broadcasters of the game, and maybe we'll get to eat on Todd's dime.
I like that. Your creativity just takes me to the next level.
Especially when it's coming out of Todd's wallet, too. David Solomon, Don Johnson, in for the voice of the Raiders, Todd Blackstock, who is on assignment. But you can catch Todd as we relaunch the Friday Night Sports Jam here in a couple weeks. In the interim, you can hear a little of Todd on Team 590 in the 7 o'clock hour on Friday nights with Matt Berger and company. 10:22 to go and counting here at Family Arena. As the route is on, and we should note the Myrtle Beach Sharks first-year team kind of had to throw things together for this week. We had no idea what to expect. We didn't have any information ahead of time, and you're thinking, well, come on, you broadcasters, why are you whining? We weren't alone, Don. Chief Moore didn't know anything. He didn't have a roster or any film in advance either.
But it just goes to show you that he had his game plan regardless who they were facing, and that's the sign of an elite coach.
So James Neal's teeing up the ball right in the middle of the field as the ball blew off the tee. Cheerleaders dancing, fans dancing in the stands. It's a party here at Family Arena. So Neal teeing it up right down the middle, so highly doubt he's going for the onside kick here, up by 38. Clock continues to run. Two receivers back deep as it is a little squib kick, and Myrtle Beach just falls on it.
It's at the 14-yard line.
Yep. Ja Valentine with the recovery as the up man. He was ready. They had their hands team out there. So after a little forward progress, it's going to be 1st and 10 for Myrtle Beach on the River City Raiders 12 with 9:05 to go and counting, with the Raiders on top 61-23.
Can they really risk giving them that short of a field to cover?
That's a very good point, especially when you factor in that a 38-point lead in the outdoor game, you could say game over, and you'd be bringing in the 3rd-string quarterback and the 4th-string running back. But in an indoor game, a 38-point deficit is not insurmountable.
Well, I think when you look at the game of football, and other teams are going to be looking at what the score was, the higher you can make that score, the more impressed they're going to be with, hey, we never heard of these guys. Are they legit?
So on 1st and 10, Sweeney tries to throw deep, but instead he gets batted away by big Kevin Adams at the line of scrimmage. Incomplete. 2nd and 10 now from the 12 of River City for Myrtle Beach.
Pass incomplete.
So 8:05 to go and counting as the Raiders make a substitution on defense. Chris Williams entering the game at linebacker as he joins Dion Morris. Your defensive line for the Raiders. Kevin Adams and Keenan Mesa, the defensive ends, with Bernard Quinn, the nose tackle. In the secondary, you've got a pair of wide receivers, Gary Johnson and Chris Head at safety. Theo Alexander is the lone cornerback on the field right now. Sweeney looking to throw, goes up the middle of the field, and that is incomplete. Bounces off the hands of Chris Head. Intended receiver for Myrtle Beach, Simon Phoenix. 3rd down and 10 now.
Now, can we call him Kevin Lurch Adams?
All right, Lurch Adams. If he doesn't have a problem with it. By the way, Kevin, if in the Adams family, if you're listening, this was all Don Johnson's idea.
Kevin, I love him. He's a big man. He's a Lurch down on the football field. Yeah.
3rd down and 10. 2 receivers to the near side. 1 receiver now, Jared Harris in motion in the slot. So high snap, Sweeney looking to throw to the middle of the field, and he can't connect with Darryl Gooden.
Pass incomplete.
That
to
one's
number
incomplete.
2, defended by 18. Third down.
And that brings up 3rd and 10. Rather 4th and 10 to be exact, because they were a little slow changing the down marker.
Well,
so it is now 4th and 10 from the 12-yard line as the Raiders defense is held tight.
He went down about 10 and then tried to go over the middle. And I tell you, Alexander had him covered like a sheep. There's no way he was going to catch that ball.
So Myrtle Beach in the huddle, trying to get any momentum to try to keep their hopes in this game alive.
The Chief is over there talking to his D-backs on the sideline.
Chief being the coach of the Raiders, Greg Moore. All 3 receivers now on the near side of the field. Direct snap to the running back. He gets taken down into the boards at the 9-yard line. That was
I heard that up
big
here.
Fullback for Myrtle Beach. Cody Aspenleiter trying
fumbled.
to run it on the direct snap. May have not have been intended as a direct snap. It may have just been Cody being very alert, but whatever it was, he couldn't make enough headway. Only gained 3 on the far side. The River City Raiders will take over on downs on their own 9-yard line with 5:45 to go and counting. And the Raiders might want to look at trying to eat up a little clock here.
Well, it seems like Cody that time, he just recovered the fumble and tried to get as many yards as he could. But that was good reaction from the defensive backfield and the lineman for the Raiders to stop him and get possession of the ball. It's right at the 8-yard line.
It's at the 9. 1st and 10 on the Raiders' own 9-yard line as the Raiders are going from left to right. As Mike Tyndall has led the River City Raiders offense back out onto the field.
One more score should do it.
DeJuan Bolden out wide to the far side. Johnny King, DeAndre Jackson out wide to the near side. Jackson in the slot. King is the vertical man in motion. Actually, he now goes to the line of scrimmage. It'll be Bolden on the far side, the man in motion. Keenan Miller, the running back, and he gets the handoff. He's going to lose a few yards as he gets up to about the 6, but that'll be a loss of 3 as the Raiders definitely trying to run down the clock, which you can do up until the 1-minute mark.
Gain of 1.
Okay, they got a block up front.
2nd down.
The man's been making yards all night. They kind of stopped him that time.
There's a loss of 3 on the play. 2nd down and 13 on the 6-yard line. King, Jackson, Bolden, all receivers on the near side. Keenan Miller remains in the backfield. DeAndre Jackson will be the man in motion vertically. Snap gets to Tyndall, 5-step drop, quick pass over to King. He catches at the 13, up to the 15, just shy of the 16-yard line where he is taken down by Antoine Steele, the San Jose City College product.
That time he came down the sideline and cut it across the center. Made a good catch. He was trying to keep his balance.
Or is it a first? 3rd down.
10-yard reception on the play by Johnny King. That brings up 3rd down and 3 on the 16. Same 3 receivers still on the near side. Keenan Miller, the lone running back in the backfield. DeAndre Jackson, the man in motion. Tyndall takes the snap, looking to the far side. He's got Keenan Miller out wide. He makes the catch to the 15, to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Raiders! The running back passing game.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that.
34-yard touchdown reception from Mike Tyndall. It is now 67-23 with 3:20 to go.
Puts the Raiders up 67-23.
Some of the fans here are starting to make their way to the front few rows to get ready for their autographs as this game is just about in the bag.
Well, that time, the fullback was over there by himself.
Neil
looking at the receivers.
to
he snuck
attempt
down
the
the
extra
sideline
point.
and was all alone. That wasn't the guy within 10 yards. But he licked the ball in, which is very important. Usually when you're by yourself like that, you can lose your concentration. But he saw it in his hands, and then he saw the goal line.
Well, James Neal on for the point after, and it's instead a direct snap to the up man, Bernard Quinn. He doesn't drop it this time. He rumbles into the end zone
Bernard
for a 2-point
Quinn.
conversion. Spins the ball in the end zone, getting his little dance on, shaking his derriere.
That's a 2-point conversion.
It is now 69-23. River City Raiders on top.
Shaking it, but a Michael Jackson, he's not.
No. So Keenan Miller now with the last 2 River City Raiders touchdowns.
I said 70. Look how close they are.
Hey, James Neal can make it 70 if he can get the Uno. He doesn't have one yet tonight.
This is unbelievable. I'd like to see the rest of the league once they see the score.
I would
There are
put,
lots of ways to
you
spend
know,
your
it's
money.
too bad we're in
Some
indoor
things you
football
just
right now,
want.
because if you
Others
nail the score of 70, I would just go
We know
right
no
to the
one wants to
casino,
spend the money.
put down all my chips on 70 on the roulette table, but it doesn't go that high. So what would I do? 2 chips on 35?
You said that. You said you knew it didn't go that high.
True, very true.
That was a good build-up. I enjoyed it.
Ferguson Roofing.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, now
we're St. Charles counties for over 65
Well, we have an onside kick now. We're going to put it down there and go get it.
Well, if it wasn't so packed here, I'd tell you to yell out to kick it deep, but hard to tell. Pretty even balance. 3 receivers to James Neal, make it 4 defenders to James Neal's left. 3 to his right. 3 up men for Myrtle Beach, 2 men standing at about midfield, and then the 2 deep receivers. Make that 4 up men as one just happened to jump right back onto the field of play. So with 2:28 to go and counting, what will James Neal do?
Yeah, we're wondering.
He runs up and he releases the kick, and it is a long end-over-end kick right down central. He got it! He got it! 70 on the Uno by James Neal. Don Johnson is a prophet if the score holds.
That's
with
an extra
2:12 to
point.
go and counting.
On the kickoff. That makes the score 70 to 23.
That was a beautiful kick. Unbelievable.
So we have 2 minutes remaining, 70 to 23, Raiders on top.
Okay, I'm not going to say anything else about the score. My lips are sealed.
Raiders fans, make sure you check out the River City Raiders on Facebook.
Play here for the last 1 minute, 50 seconds to go and counting.
Keep up to date on all
like
things
right now,
Raiders.
you may need a little time to be quiet because coming up with the 1 minute warning, we need to come up with a Paul Minio player.
We're going to pick out the best photo and share it.
I'm glad you put an S on that.
Indoor Raiders on Facebook.
We don't have much time to come up with that as the clock is winding down. Myrtle Beach in no hurry to snap the ball.
I'm going with the 3-down lineman. That's all I have to say.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and
defensive linemen.
Oh, the 3 defensive linemen for the Raiders.
They've been entertaining us tonight.
All right, so we got Bernard Quinn, Keenan Mace, and Kevin Adams are all our Paul Minios players of the game.
Thank you, sir. They've earned it.
1:08 to go. Charles Sweeney operating in the shotgun. Jared Harris motioning over to the far side. Sweeney fooled the Raiders as it looked like they jumped. The question is, were they provoked and led to jump off sides?
Offside.
Seems like the quarterback realized they've been going with the same snap count all game.
As Kevin Adams was whistled for being offside. And we now have 1 minute remaining. We're at the 1 minute warning. Is now going to be first down and 5 from the Myrtle Beach Sharks.
1 minute to play.
You know, so often that the defensive linemen listen to the quarterback's voice, and he starts using that against them later on in the game. You have to be aware of where the ball is, and when it moves, you move.
Low snap. Sweeney airing it out deep. He has Jared Harris, but he just goes down. Gary Johnson, interception. He goes to the 20, to the 17, and he just slides down, not wanting to risk injury on the turf. So it'll be River City Raiders football on the 17-yard line. And now keep in mind, inside 1 minute, you can't take a knee. You got to at least get forward progress if you want the clock to keep running. But with 24 seconds, and it looks like they are going to just go ahead and keep the clock running here.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the ball game. Raiders win.
We are not going to run
70 to 23.
So River City Raiders on
thank
top.
You guys so much for coming out tonight. The River City Raiders would like to thank you.
Keenan Mace.
Reminder to stay after the game for a post-game autograph session and jersey auction. Please enter through the downstairs lobby and do not jump over the board. If you're not going to stick around for the autograph session,
then the Sharks took
please
advantage of
drive
Mike
home
Tyndall
safely.
getting a bad snap and fumbling.
If you had too much to drink tonight, give the keys to somebody else. We all got to go to work on
Then the
Monday.
Raiders reeled off 27.
Let's hear it one more time for the River City Raiders.
Reception. Then DeAndre Jackson. It was 14-3, make that 21-3 after 1. Then River City Raiders, Anthony Burley, the one defensive lineman who didn't start. I guess we're going to add him to Paul Minio's player of the game, too. He was subbing in on the defensive line. He had an interception in the end zone. Made it 21-3. Then Johnny King, a 14-yard touchdown reception from Tyndall. 2-point conversion failed. That made it 27-3. Darrell Gooden, a 29-yard touchdown reception from the starting quarterback who played the first half, Marlon Horton. That made it 27-10. DeAndre Jackson answered with a 20-yard touchdown reception from Tyndall, making it 34-10. Horton, with 9 seconds to go, ran the ball in from 4 yards out, making it 34-17, but the Raiders had one play after Johnny King got whistled for pass interference. Chris Head pulled down a 36-yard pass from Tyndall. Extra point failed. That made it 40-17 at the half. The closest you saw Myrtle Beach get was 17 points when Daryl Gooden hauled in a 2-yard touchdown reception from Charles Sweeney about midway through the third quarter. That made it 40-23. But then DeAndre Jackson responded with a 58-yard kick return that made it 37-23. Big Kevin Adams recovered the fumble, making it 54-23 after 3 quarters of play. To the fourth quarter, all Raiders. Keenan Miller a 2-yard touchdown run, and then Miller followed that with a 34-yard touchdown reception, and then to get to 70, James Neal with the Uno. Any final thoughts, Don?
No, I think that the listeners have missed an unbelievable entertaining afternoon,
the Retro Futura Tour.
And I think that they need to think about this
one
team
night,
and
Saturday,
coming out
August
and
19th at the Family Arena in St. Charles. Howard
and how much fun this can be for an entire
The
family.
English Beat.
Well, that'll do it here
Modern
from the
English.
Family Arena. The River City Raiders victorious 70-23. For the voice of the Raiders, Tom Blackstock. For the Raiders owner, Kenny Howard, special thanks for making these broadcasts possible. For Matt Davis, our studio coordinator at the 590 The Fan Studios. For my partner, Don Johnson. And for all of you listening out there, I'm David Solomon. Your final score, River City Raiders 70, Myrtle Beach Sharks 23. That's
Guest Leanne Womack. Reserve seats on sale now at the Family Arena box office or MetroTix.com.
I love the 90s. The Party Continues Tour featuring TLC, Sugar Ray's Mark McGrath, Rob Bass, Biz Marquis, CNC Music Factory featuring Freedom Williams, and Snap. Friday, September 15th, the Family Arena. Tickets on sale now at MetroTix.com.